Got it. Here we go.
Yeah, I love the weaving spiders.
Am I working or is working? Fucking Alan Marcus. I love that guy. If you guys don't know, I am a fairly regular on Weaving Spiders Welcome on Saturday nights. And Alan Marcus is alanmarcus.com. If you haven't ever checked that out, Alan Marcus is absolutely brilliant. That guy kills me. That guy freaking kills me. Like, there's sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm just like, what the fuck is he going on about? And then all of a sudden he just pulls it back, just whack. Oh, brilliant. Love you, Alan. You're just freaking brilliant. I love that guy.
One thing that you guys are doing the best of any podcast that I've ever seen with an open forum is that, and I even love that you call it a weave, because there isn't really a debate in a weave. Everything ties together. And it's interesting to me as the people are new guests and they become part of the spiders, them learning that. I can feel it energetically of them learning that this is a weave. This isn't a debate. This isn't like every show before it. This isn't here for us to take our ideas and make swords out of them. This is for us to take our ideas and make web together out of it. And there's something so fucking beautiful. And the way you all do it, like, you add this sense of like responsibility to the show, but also I like how you get it off track and remind people this little magical element, or just have a story sometimes about a real synchronicity in your life, or you always bring it back to an owl because it's funny to me and synchronistic. But Marcus Allen is like kind of this really great glue at, me and you could be talking about two totally different ideas, and Slick Dissonant comes in with a totally different idea, and then Marcus Allen's over there when no one even notices for fucking 15 minutes that he hasn't spoke, and then he comes in and he finds one word that glues all of our weaves together in a way. And Jim, the thing that's so great about Jim is that if you just visually are watching, he's always doing something so fucking funny, like always doing something so clowny, so funny with the green screen, with the thing. And when he does actually speak up, he never will take the floor. He always lets the person, like if two people talk at the same time and he's one of the people, he always 100% of the time lets the person take the floor and kind of saves his little nugget, and it always ends up better landed a few seconds later after he lets the person finish. I don't know. It's just little comedic things I notice about the whole thing too. So yeah, I love the weaving spiders.
Usually comes through.
Yeah, I love the weaving spiders.
Yeah.
Am I working or is
That was
working?
Oh,
Fucking Alan Marcus.
I could watch that on repeat.
That guy.
That's a lot of fun.
If you guys don't know, I am a fairly regular.
Wow. Thank you,
I love the
Chris,
clip
for
from
putting that
Ben.
video together for us. That's awesome.
That was fantastic.
You're a little quiet.
Chris put that together. That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. I will speak into the microphone.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
It's Wednesday again, folks.
Hey, here we are.
Here we are.
It's Wednesday, and I've got my art hopper ready to put some art into this thing to fill the hopper with art. Alternatively, it's the hat.
It appears to me that we're simulcasting on the SB Ultra YouTube channel.
What? Nice. We're hopping along.
Hi.
If you are viewing this on the SB Ultra YouTube channel, please know that I do not have the channel open. I cannot see you chatting. I cannot interact with you. Well, I can, but I choose not to at this time. So please enjoy yourself acting.
Oh,
cool.
come on, man.
I agree with that. Oh, come on, man, wholeheartedly. There's a weird picture of me here. This isn't a live camera that's going to show. Maybe this just needs to go.
Yes. This is
It's going to be a little rough and
this is
tumble
our
to start,
extended
folks.
sound test.
Yeah,
We're all
this is
getting
the
our
back
stuff
to the
together.
3-hour sound check. Oh no, there I am. That's in the back of my
Yeah.
head.
Rock and roll sound test. Bucka, 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 bucka.
Welcome, Chelsea, to the weave.
Oh, I get it. There's a camera over here. Hi, everybody.
Whoa. Well, hey.
Whoa.
Hi.
I had a dog with me, but he decided to leave. I think it's too cold down on the floor.
Whoa, little dog friend.
So we're picking up where Vibrant left off with the Dream Talk stuff, I think is where we're at.
Oh, that was good
And
stuff.
I know this time of year is very active for imaginations and dreams, and I think we'll continue that conversation tonight. And how does our waking life, daydream, and imagination influence our sleeping dreams? And what would Jung say to Freud about that? What would Freud say in response to what Jung said about dreams in response to that? Or would Salvador Dali interrupt both of them and just quack like a duck?
I think Freud would talk about his mom a little bit.
I'm messing it up. That's what I'm doing.
Happy
I'm messing
Mother's
it
Day
up.
to all the mothers out there. We are this is also our belated Mother's Day special.
Yes.
We're doing this to impress our moms.
We love all of them.
My mom said she's impressed for sure. So
The Vibrant tonight was one not to miss. So people go catch that later after FlowState. Stay up all night if you have to. It was very Weaving Spiders welcome. We had Michelle Lundquist of Michelle's Healing Home talking about herbs and her tinctures. And we learned a lot and got into some crazy mugwort stuff. It's Rachel's birthday. She was there with us. And we also had, of course, Slick Dissident co-hosting and Mario Garza.
It was on fire.
Oh, that's on the Interverse Podcast YouTube channel, or Rockfan. I guess I should say that.
Yeah, we're all getting our sound testing here, and this halo keeps following me around everywhere I go. So I don't know if I keep bumping my head on it or what's going on. I'm trying to get into the microphone here. Welcome, Chris. We played your promo. It's beautiful. We'll probably play it again in an hour or two.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Chris. Good work.
We wanted everyone to see
Yeah.
that, so we put it right at the start of the video.
Thanks, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm fashionably late as always, so thank you for playing it without me. I'm glad that everyone got to see it. Of course, if Alan Marcus wanted to add text over it, so it's more clear what we are promoting, we can. I like to keep it encrypted, so only the people that come watch Weaving Spiders are the ones that follow the breadcrumbs. So that's why I didn't slap text over it.
The other thing I want to do is make that available for download so people can share that to their own social media platforms, Instagram or Twitter. I think Twitter has real strict restrictions as to video content in terms of the size and the encoding and all that. So we can figure that out. This is just our first pass on a 5-minute promotional clip that we'll probably put on our YouTube channel as a trailer. People want to know what Weaving Spiders Welcome is, and we're doing our best to encapsulate that in a short video.
Yes,
that is.
And I did share it to the Telegram group today. So if you wanted to find it, download it, because you can download off of Telegram and just upload that version. Share it anywhere. You can do that. So that's something we can do at the moment.
And remix it, chop it up, edit it any way you like. It's all available for your creative reimaginings and reinterpretations.
Yes.
you guys, I just realized I got to go turn on the heater in my greenhouse. I'll be right back.
Do it.
Right on, guys. So awesome what you're doing.
I also like the clip that James sent me. I used in it where he's talking with the skull, because he says something along the lines of memes. I make memes that become real or something like that.
Yes.
And what Alan and I have been witnessing is our hyperstiturals becoming real in some fashion. So that's why I
the
wrote this
direction
so much.
between the art that we make and the waking dream state, and the veil between the worlds is never more thin. We are daydreaming and sleepwalking, and our dreams are our waking life, and our waking life are our dreams, and it's all very exciting and fun and interesting. Yes.
I had a dream last night.
Let's hear a dream. Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, here's what I wrote down. When does your planets grow? My guide to me on the 11th of May, 2022. As we jump back into the alarm triggered building to seek an elixir that he put into my eyes with his fingers. This after Dad flew us down a massive crevasse in an airplane, and at the last minute pulled us out into a beautiful Grand Canyon. Then I was on my own. A feeling of danger prevailed. Alarms, the sense that someone didn't want us there. There was a crew of wise guys and gals to help on the journey. I had the feeling it was some spiders.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah, I want Martin to narrate all my dreams.
Right. Certainly, Chris. Let's hear it. Send it to me on email. Let's get this thing going.
Yeah, I also like that. Is that a magnifying glass you're reading with?
Yeah.
It makes me think of the bookstore owner from Top Secret, that film. In the reverse bookstore, how he reads with the
I hadn't seen that.
glass.
I'll have to check it out. What's the movie called?
Top Secret from 1984.
With Val Kilmer.
Oh,
Val-
okay. Yeah. I know Val. He was Doc Holliday.
Yes. Yes.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Probably his best role.
Yeah, great role.
Definitely better than his role in Top Gun.
Also, I wanted to shout out Chance. I played his episode of Odin's Alchemy towards the end of my shift at work today when it was like really dead. And a volunteer that volunteers at the garden came up, and she just happened to start talking to me, because I guess I'm known as like the more spiritual guy. And she started talking to me about her grandson liking teal, the color, and him also being really infatuated with Jesus at the moment.
Okay.
And so she was asking me what the symbolism of teal was.
What is
And
the
so-
symbolism of teal
So
to you?
it's interesting. I like the art behind me. I've been using that kind of shade a lot recently out of the blue. So it was serendipitous that she asked me this question. And
So the color teal is between like blue and green, would you say?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So when
Like
I did
green
research
is
today, one of the
Grass,
first
sky, and
things
water.
I read was it's the meeting point between calming blue and renewal green. And
Yeah.
then it also mentioned this article I found mentioned how
Is there a
I think-
sound associated with the color teal? Is there a frequency or vibration that you know
That-
of associated with the color?
I would like to know that if someone could look that up.
There are charts, Kabbalistic charts with associations of tones and colors and things. I'm sure we could
Is teal your
go
throat
into our
chakra?
wizard library and find that
Well,
correspondence.
Well, also Tibetan monks and Egyptians connected teal to creation
Okay.
in some
Okay.
way. So it is a very high vibrational color, it seems.
Here's another
And
association I have with that color. We have something called a gray alien, which is maybe a humanoid thing with gray skin, but sometimes that skin is shown as a greenish color, and sometimes it might be a gray teal color, so like a grayish green tinted sort of color. And tonight I've got a book here. This is The Ethiopian Tattoo Shop by Edward Hayes. On the back, there's this snake here, and it arables. The snake makes the piece, so it says parables. And there is a story in here called The Alien, which is only a few pages, and I could read that now if we're ready to get into the flow state. I have not read this before, so it'll be a surprise to me as well. It begins on page 76 of The Ethiopian Tattoo Shop by Edward Hayes. Long, long ago, there lived a very large family. It was, in fact, the largest family in the world. It was so large that the parents did not even know the exact number of their children. But although it was of such great size, it was still a loving family. All the brothers and sisters possessed a wonderful sense of family unity, and they joyfully shared the great house in which they all lived. This home was as beautiful as the family that filled its many, many rooms. Now, while the children were so numerous that they were beyond counting, their parents loved each of them with a personal love. And since the greatest love that any parent can give to a child is the gift of freedom, these children all had the freedom to be truly themselves. As a result, while they had all come from the same parents, they did not look or act alike. Some wore rich and luxurious furs, others delightfully dressed in all feathers, and still others wore suits of soft bark and long flowing capes of scarlet leaves. Yet, in spite of all their variety and many differences, they lived united in love and harmony with each other. One day, the father of the family came to the top of the staircase at the center of the great house and called all his children together. His long white hair flowed gracefully over his shoulders, and his beard cascaded down his chest like Niagara Falls in the winter. Facing the whole family, he announced with great glee, "After so many years during which our house has been without a baby, we announce with great joy that you have a little baby brother." All the children cheered loudly, for indeed it had been a very long time since a baby had been born to the family. The family all gathered around, eager to see the newest arrival, who, while not looking at all like any of the others, was greeted with songs and rejoicing. The brothers and sisters lovingly took turns caring for the infant. However, as he became older, something very disturbing became apparent. While he seemed bright and could do many things, he had an emotional block, an island of insanity, for he believed that he was an alien. Yes, the child believed that he did not belong to his own family. He was convinced that he had been left on their doorstep and really belonged to someone else. The family house was not his home. These were not his brothers and sisters, but were strangers, strangers who were his potential enemies. As he grew older, the problem also grew. He refused to speak the common language and instead made up one of his own, one which the others could not understand. This truly confirmed to him that he was an alien. Next, he began building a wall to separate himself from the others. He built a small wooden playhouse box in his room and called it home. He frequently stole from his brothers and sisters and treated them cruelly. On occasion, he would leave his playhouse box and take little trips around the rest of the house. When he did so, he would carry with him a small canvas copy of his box, and if he stayed overnight somewhere other than his own room, he would pitch his little canvas box and sleep in it. But wherever he went, he always left litter behind him. He was a careless, messy, self-centered child. Finally, his brothers and sisters went to their father to complain and demand that something be done about their barbarian brother. He's cruel and thinks it's fun to hurt us, said one sister. He took my fur coat and left me with none, added a brother. Father, chimed in another, you should never have given him that chemistry set for his birthday. He fills the house with smoke and the whole place stinks. He's getting worse, and we think that he should be put in an institution before he does any more damage. The kindly father held up his hand for a quiet, as many other children began to voice their complaints. Yes, yes, I know, and I am sorry for all the pain that each of you has felt because of him, but we must be patient. Your little brother is emotionally ill, and we must not treat him too harshly. But as time passed, the child's behavior continued to grow worse. Daily, the child would claim more and more of the great house as his own, driving the others away with threats or with vicious attacks. His brothers and sisters would have loved to discipline him themselves, but their father had urged them to be patient. One day, the father once again called the entire family together to make an announcement. We have decided after much thought that even though we are old and already have a great family, we shall have another baby. It is our hope that what our sick and disturbed boy needs is a companion. This time, no great cheer went up from the rest of the family. They thought to themselves, one spoiled baby in the family is enough. What will it be like to have two of them in the same house? The kindly and loving father could easily read their thoughts and replied, children, children, my son, the cedar, and you, my beautiful daughter, Dolphin, and you, noble deer, and all the rest of you. I know that you have suffered much at the hands of our disturbed child, but this new child will be different. We have poured all our love, all our dreams and hopes into him. This child will be different. He will heal his disturbed brother and make him well. Please wait and see. From the moment of his birth, the family could see that their new baby brother was indeed different. As his brothers and sisters clustered around his crib, he smiled and spoke to them in the common tongue. He reached out to each of them with affection and trust. Great joy filled the large house, for indeed, their father seemed to be right. Perhaps this new child couldn't help their disturbed brother. The new child grew in wisdom and age. His teachers were his brothers and sisters, the trees and lakes, lilies and wheat, each of whom taught him much. His brother, the son, who thought of himself as an outsider, at first rejoiced in the arrival of his brother, but as soon as it became apparent that his baby brother did not also consider himself to be an alien, a stranger to the others who lived in the great house, he grew suspicious and began teasing him. As they grew a little older, however, the disturbed boy secretly longed to believe that what his brother kept telling him was true, that he was not an alien, that this was really home to both of them, this vast and wondrous place where they lived. Living as an alien and a stranger was lonely, but at the same time, thought the older brother, was it not his fate in living the life of an alien to be lonely and isolated in the midst of hostile enemies? Yes, he resolved, walls are my only defense, and I must build bigger and bigger ones. As he was extending the height of the walls around his playhouse, his younger brother spoke to him about how important it was that he stop this madness. Your chances of surviving, brother, said the younger boy, are like a snowball in summer. You will die from all the poison that you are creating with your little chemistry set, and worse yet, your own hate will destroy you. You must learn to love all those you call your enemies, your sister bird and brother fish, your brother ant and sister spider, even your brother snake, whom you love to kill on sight. You must learn to have a love affair with all those who share this great house. We all have the same father, you and I, and all the rest who live here. It is vital that we care for one another. The older brother cursed loudly and threw his hammer at his little brother. Shut up, you're the crazy one, not me. But his little brother continued, Brother, we have only one choice, either love or perish. If you do not love all, you will destroy yourself as well as our beautiful house. The very walls you are building to defend yourself will destroy you too. Unable to listen to these words any longer, the older brother jumped down from his wall and threw the younger boy to the floor. In his attempt to silence him, the violence of his anger was so great that he killed his little brother. Seeing his brother dead, a victim of his hate, he knew that what he had done was wrong, and for the first time he felt real guilt. He begged his father to forgive him, which the father did with great love and compassion. Thereafter, the older brother, who often quoted the words of his little brother, he even attempted to live in the way he had been encouraged to live, in a lifestyle of harmony and deep love for all with whom he shared the great house. Each year, he celebrated the birthday of his brother whom he had killed, and each year he grew to feel more and more a member of the family and less a stranger, an outsider in his own home. He called the celebration of his brother's birthday the feast that I am not an alien. I'll say that again. The feast that I am not an alien. And each year he improved and came closer to full mental and emotional and spiritual health. With each festival, he became more and more sane. The old and kindly father would smile, his great white beard cascading down his chest, and would say, Soon, children, your little brother will be perfectly well and whole. Soon, he will truly be one of the family.
Well then.
Wow, that was an interesting story.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you, Alan. What was the title again, please?
It's the story from the Ethiopian Tattoo Shop by Edward Hayes. And this is 1983 by Edward M. Hayes.
it has this like hybrid changeling aspect to it. It's just interesting.
It's a beautiful
Definitely.
book, and there's handcrafted illustrations.
As you were reading that, I was in a direct message conversation about Juan and his new homunculus baby.
Go on. We don't know
It's
about
beautiful.
Juan's homunculus. At least I don't.
Well, he just had his second homunculus. That's what he told me. I believe that it comes out of the butt.
Well, that's usually the way it goes. It comes out of the butt, and that way, either it comes out of the butt and you have to put it in the glass jar and raise it the rest of the way, or it starts in the glass jar and then you put it in the butt. I don't remember. Maybe both. Maybe either. I didn't think Juan was a practicing alchemist. That's fascinating to find out.
Sometimes there's an egg involved, and you can put poke a little hole in the top of an egg and put some horse semen or man semen into the egg.
That's a Russian strategy, right? I think the
Build it
Russian
back up,
YouTubers do
yeah.
that.
That guy is
The
online.
most famous modern homunculus was murdered live on the camera with a book, I remember.
Yeah, actually, that guy brought the term homunculus to regular everyday folks online. I hear it all the time as a put down. They're
I
like,
never
"Oh,
thought of that to call someone a homunculus as an insult.
that guy is such a homunculus.
You fucking
He should
homunculus.
never been born."
Anally birthed homunculus.
Get your fucking canvas bullshit house out of here and stop littering and stop killing my brother the snake, you fucking homunculus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious, Chance, about this homunculus story. Is there more to it?
There's always more to
All
the
I know
story.
is that Juan has got a baby now. He has 2 babies, and he claims it's a homunculus. He didn't share any details of his alchemical working.
Maybe we should get him on here.
Yeah, where is he?
On Telegram and let's get some
What
beats
is a
here.
homunculus, guys? What's a homunculus?
Homunculus.
How is it spelled?
Actually,
HOMONCULUS, pretty sure.
yeah. What is a homunculus actually? Is it a little man in a little jar?
Is it
Sometimes
like
it is.
is it like a different kind of hummus? Is like
Do you grow
I think
it
he
to eat?
plays
Hummus homunculus.
guitar for the Beatles, and they call him
Hey.
Fall.
Now, Jim, was it me and you that came up with hobo homunculus?
Hobo
Great
homunculus.
Yeah, that's our
Yes.
title, right?
That was one of our things. He
Hmm.
he hitchhikes around and
Actually,
plays the guitar for dollars.
dude, I realized I have maybe here's a little human in a pill jar. This is kind of a homunculus.
Did you put other things in there? to
Absolutely a
work
homunculus.
him?
Alan's
Yeah,
got one on his
I put in a
fucking desk.
USB drive with information for
Oh,
the
shit.
homunculus to know the memory. So this is
Is any of it Tracy Twyman related?
maybe who's to say?
It doesn't sound like Alan was actually familiar with homunculus until now. Either that or he's just playing a great role here for us.
I mean, what is a homunculus to you? I mean, I have a definition of what I think a homunculus is.
I gotta find the video of this one that got created by the
Yeah,
Russian
yeah.
dude.
To me, it's a creature that was imbued life through some kind of alchemical operation, and it's used like a servitor or
Mhm.
whatever, you know,
Golem.
like it. It's similar to a golem, different though.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
From Merriam-Webster's, I've got a definition.
Nice, let's do that. I want to totally hear. I've never looked it up in the dictionary, I don't think. Good call.
A little man, mannequin, a miniature adult that in the theory of preformation is held to inhabit the germ cell and to produce a mature individual merely by an increase in size.
Mm.
So Merriam-Webster says they can grow to be regular people.
I guess.
Trippy.
I don't know, I'm a little confused.
There is some mix-up
I heard
between a
it too.
homunculus and a
The
moonchild.
one idea of the homunculus is that every sperm has a little man in it.
Yeah,
Mm.
I remember
Yeah,
those
that sounds
pictures,
about right.
those illustrations.
I had thought that the homunculus idea was a way to describe how a human life form could be created in a lab setting, which today might be related to cloning or some kind of in vitro fertilization, in which a human life is created through scientific means and not through traditional missionary position on a honeymoon when a man and a woman are married and legally obligated to produce a child. Maybe one if you're living in China. I think they get one child they're allowed to have.
I try to say that the pictures that Alan, whoever shared the screen a moment ago, look like Gollum with Hulk hands.
Yeah, that's a common picture of the homunculus if you Google it. And what that is someone did a sensitivity test on the human body. And so the expanded and enlarged areas are the places that are most sensitive. So the tongue and the hands and the lips, these are the places that show the greatest sensitivity. So that homunculus, I think that's another more scientific version of the homunculus, where they're calling that diagram and that process of sensitivity testing, they're somehow using a homunculus in that example somehow, if I remember correctly.
The concentration of nerve cells on the skin.
Tip of the PP, for example, there's a lot of nerves there. Let me
Right.
tell you, they cut mine off, so I really know. I don't remember, but it's still sensitive.
So the article says the person from HOMUNCULUS. This is in the Baltimore newspaper about Baltimore Outland, and someone has crafted. It looks digital. It might be clay. Is this a clay figure that they had maybe used some Play-Doh to craft a humanoid shape?
Your body in proportion to its nerve ending endowment is what the text is on this homunculus. HOM.
So it seems like there's interest all along in creating life forms, and if they need organ transplants and tissues and things, sometimes there's a shortage and there's a long wait list. If they're able to in a lab create a life form for the sole purpose of harvesting its organs, skin, tissues, and nerve endings, then there's business, there's dollars and cents there.
Absolutely.
And you're talking about a Russian homunculus project.
Well, some homunculi were created like, basically a replacement baby for your baby sacrifice. Sounds a lot like what you're talking about with organ growing and harvesting from clones.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, yeah.
Well, so we're talking about cloning for organs, and I just gotta say that that is also, to bring it back to Hollywood, there's a famous horror movie called Splice. That
sounds like a nightmare.
That's literally basically the plot, except the homunculus creature that's named Splice basically wants revenge.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a
there's some romance.
Homunculus.
Yeah, it's basically, that's what it is. It's more of a science version of Frankenstein or the Gollum story, which is what we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because these pictures you're showing of the illustration is what the modern science community thinks a homunculus will be, and we're connecting it to Gollum. So it's a recycling of old mythology.
Right.
And Alan, to finish this weave, Alan read that story of the alien boy,
Yeah.
and it was a hybrid changeling type story, which a lot of times in hybrid and changeling, abductions, they are also going after organs,
Right.
for repopulation.
Yeah.
They're very cold and, doctor like. They're not, there's no emotion to these grays.
Yeah, Island of Dr. Moreau type stuff.
This man just pricked his finger, it looks like, to put blood in this egg.
He injected it with some collected seminal fluid that he had in a syringe.
Okay.
He poked a little hole in the top of the egg and shot his full load into it.
He's got those little swimmers in there. And did he also include blood from his finger?
You can do that.
You might have.
Okay.
I didn't see that in this particular one, but I think he's got other.
Right.
This is I think one of the original creators.
Which blood is really important in.
This ties in with Mother's Day as well. Right. The mother is the person who holds the fetus and the embryo to see that it receives all the love and care and nutrition it needs to deliver the baby.
Yeah.
And
so when this one grows up, he tells the guy,
this is a man can make a child.
I like that dinosaur reference, SP.
There's an argument to be made that a lot of this alchemy of the homunculus is an attempt by the masculine to take the power of the feminine and the mother to give birth that the masculine side doesn't have.
Exactly. That's something I was about to say, but you put in better words. I was just going to say #men can get pregnant too.
Birth person.
Person with a womb.
I love my pregnant man emoji. Thank you, Apple.
I loved it when it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Mom. Was that Hulk Hogan? Who was the guy who was Mr. Mom?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Danny
Are you
DeVito.
talking about the country song, Mr. Mom?
There's a movie called Mr. Mom with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Is there a country song? There was a famous country song called Mr. Mom. And it's just the best song you'll ever hear in your life.
Again, 1994. It's called Junior. Directed and produced by Ivan Reitman, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, and Emma Thompson.
They got the divine feminine.
I said Mr. Mom and it showed me Junior. I think Mr. Mom is a Hulk Hogan movie, I want to say.
Is Danny DeVito the homunculus in this movie?
These are the homunculus in every movie.
I'm gonna say no one would be surprised to find out that Danny DeVito actually grew from an original homunculus.
Yes.
I wouldn't either.
Mr. Mom is 1983 with Michael Keaton. So
that's right.
Batman
Yeah,
played Mr. Mom with Terry Garr. And Christopher Lloyd is in this movie. Michael Keaton was Batman. 1983 Mr. Mom. Now I'm remembering a movie with Hulk Hogan wearing like a ballerina tutu on the cover of the art. And I was confusing that with Mr. Mom. But if anyone has anything to read, we can move into the next reading.
This is just about done. If you see this, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not sure what the timeline was, but he grew this homunculus inside of the egg that he injected. And
I was thinking of Mr. Nanny from 1993 with Hulk Hogan.
We're seeing that one.
Mr. Nanny, 1993.
Mr. Nanny. I don't think I've ever seen that one. I remember the cover though.
He's flexing his guns and he's wearing his ballerina tutu and he's wearing pink and it's a very iconic cover. So I don't know how we got to talking about male mothers on our Mother's Day special when we're supposed to be talking about dreams. This is becoming a nightmare.
Oh, this is the one where the guy kills it, I think.
Make a homunculus, give it life, and then take the life away.
Well, it scares the shit out of him, so he has to kill it.
Right.
Let me see if I can share this one, see if it
Yeah. The other thought I had about homunculus and cloning would be to genetically breed super soldiers to have the strongest men for the strongest army.
it kills it.
But imagine if you had an army of little homunculi and you put them in the air ducts and they can just crawl right into the air ducts and bite your ankles. And they would find your Achilles heel and take out an entire army that way.
That was the plot of the Marvel movie Ant-Man. The bad guys were going to create an army of miniature soldiers who had the strength of a full-grown man, like ants.
I remember
There you
that.
have it. That's a marvelous demystifier for you right here, right now.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah,
to
we
do.
did this one in reverse. We demystified it first and then revealed at the end what we had demystified.
So the question then is, are homunculi real? Have they been fact checked and debunked by Snopes, or is it all theoretical? Is it a theory? Is it on a blueprint? Has it ever been proven? We might have to try it
Who's
for
to say?
ourselves. We'll
Who's
have
to
to try it
say?
for ourselves.
Too bad I left Genuflect at home.
Yeah.
Else I would read the homunculus part.
I mean, they hide information all the time, you know.
Mhm.
Smithsonian Institution, places like that, right? They'll
Mhm.
if there's a discovery, they go in. And we know they do this. They did it in Arizona when they found the mummies in the caves
Mhm.
from Egypt.
Mhm.
In the
You know,
Grand Canyon there.
yeah, right. I mean, but it happens all the time. You know, elongated skulls. Oh, that they don't exist. Or they use those headboard things. Well, they know there's two different groups. It's not just
Right.
one.
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
other.
And this topic is really coming to light with what Dark Journals has been talking about, Atlantis and the Atlantean technology and what they call chimeras or chimeras, if you like to pronounce it, chimera
Chimera,
or
yeah.
chimera, however you like to pronounce it. But this is the idea of breeding animals and taking different body parts and combining them so you'll have creatures that are mixed and matched body parts.
Carrie Boynton goes through that really well in this book, Descendants of Atlantis.
Have you been holding that book this entire time?
No, I just put it up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But you see, these reptilian Atlanteans in this book, it's a what does he call it? Fixed history, fictional history.
Uh-huh.
The reptilians genetically alter animal, mixing animals and humans and all sorts of stuff in here.
Like a chupacabra. You've got Dulce, New Mexico, and you've got the stories of chupacabra that might have been released or escaped from underground military bases where they've created these monster chupacabras.
Right. Or they live underground,
That's another possibility. There's a whole ocean left to be explored, and only one man, James Cameron, can raise the funds to discover the ocean. So that is why we at Weaving Spiders Welcome are officially endorsing Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5. So buy your tickets as soon as they go on sale to support the work of James Cameron so that he can return to the Titanic and find the monsters that lurk in the deep. Vote with your dollar, folks. We want James Cameron to to make Avatar 6, 7, 8, and 9 as well. We want a trilogy of trilogies, as they call it in the industries of industries.
Is there a website or something?
James Cameron did his 3D IMAX epic adventure repurposing of the rainforest Fern Gully story.
Oh yeah.
In this planet Pandora with the mineral element unobtainium, which they desperately seek. The military industrial complex desperately seeks to cut down the rainforest to obtain the unobtainium. And in that story, there is a man who is somehow disabled and is able to use technology to connect to an avatar. So there is, again, a homunculus-like life form entity thing that he's able to take control of remotely using his mind to navigate in this new vehicle of consciousness, his new Merkaba on the planet Pandora, which happens to be this teal-colored, green, gray-skinned alien race thing. And I think Monday, maybe, or Tuesday, maybe, what day is it? Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday. WSW, Weaving Spiders Welcome, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday. One of these days, in the past few days, the studio released a trailer for Avatar 2. It's real, it's happening, and it's a large franchise, and many blessings. If this fails, then what will Hollywood do? So in our attempts to save Hollywood, we will just have to continue going to movie theaters and buying multiple tickets. Whether or not we watch the movie or
Save
not,
Hollywood.
we have to save Hollywood.
Hollywood's worse than Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, fuck Hollywood.
Fuck Hollywood.
If we don't save Hollywood, we're going to have to watch Bollywood films, and there's a lot of singing and dancing in that, and maybe that is emasculating. So we need
Very un-American.
masculine movies with sex and guns and gore and violence and explosions and car chases and action and
love
romance.
scenes. Oh yeah. Hey, Jim, were you there when I cursed Benjamin Franklin in your name on Vibrant?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you. Fuck that guy. Fuck you, Benjamin Franklin.
Hey, we need to make it clear that if after you die and there was already a lot of suspicious rumors surrounding your name, we start excavating and digging and we find dead babies at your house, fuck you forever.
Yeah.
No going back.
Absolutely.
That's
Well, were those children homunculus?
Scumbag.
Did he
I
grow up
also
homunculus?
I also put it in last Saturday's intro. I put the words F you, Benjamin Franklin.
Yep.
In the intro too, just so you
Awesome,
didn't-
Chris.
I love that Chris didn't say it. Do you not swear, Chris?
It's
I
F/CK.
I do, but yeah, I was trying to be nice since this is a open show, unlike
Yeah, it's still
Saturday.
early.
True.
We haven't
I'm
gone
glad
to
you
like
said that because I could stand to watch my horrible potty mouth sometimes. So I will
No.
try to remember
No, you-
to.
the
down
consonants
to-
F
to-
and C and K can use any vowel, so it could be ak or ik or ak or ek or ik or ak.
Frickin'.
Feek is pretty good.
Eek. What
off.
did Benjamin Franklin do to you that makes you so upset, Jim, personally offended by the life and existence of Benjamin Franklin?
Well, first of all, it's daylight savings time, which I don't know if it was him per se, but I heard it was at one point, and so like fuck that guy.
Yeah, no
All
shit.
that
Mhm.
daylight savings time stuff.
That definitely affects us.
It's nonsense.
Yeah. You know, like bifocals. Come on. Who
Fuck
wants
those
bifocals?
glasses.
Making people look like nerds. Come on. Come
Come on.
Well, speaking of fuck, he was probably bifuckle too.
You know he was.
Yeah.
Also,
He didn't invent
If-
electricity.
if anyone wanted to know what Danny DeVito as a homunculus looks like,
Nice. Oh my goodness.
That's,
Did you
that's
just draw that just
beautiful.
now?
I just did it just now.
What?
You're quick,
Sweet.
man.
That's good.
What?
Yeah, now
Right,
you're
Chris.
revealing, you're showing your power level, Chris.
Yeah.
People are going to start to expect more if you can demonstrate that fast of a result.
Be
If you
very
want.
careful what you mean, Chris. This
He's
could
lost his
become reality.
feet in his
It
federal.
already is. I mean, I'm pretty sure this already, Danny DeVito, it's already a homunculus.
I think Danny
Yeah,
DeVito
it's right
cut
there on
off
the
his
screen.
eggs and fried them and ate them like his own chicken legs.
I think it
Yes,
was
I'm
actually
hungry.
Kronos that cut him off. So
Okay, well,
That's crazy, man.
mm,
But it looks like his boobs are hanging out or something. What is that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll share really quick and
the
explain what
estrogen. I
it
think
is.
it's all the soy in the soy milk and the.
Are those
Soy-
skulls? They look like boobs or skulls.
Okay, so I found a picture of a homunculus.
Mm-hmm.
It slapped Danny DeVito's face on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the picture of Danny DeVito I found was him shirtless, rubbing his nipples. And I
Oh,
really
God.
wanted to keep that picture because I thought it was so funny that he was rubbing his nipples. And I couldn't
Mhm.
find a picture of a homunculus rubbing their nipples. So I just cropped the piece of him rubbing his nipples and slapped it on there just because.
perfect.
This
Well, I mean,
is
that's the logical thing to do.
our art party, and this is the art we are producing.
That's
We'd
right.
like to see your art as well tonight as we are telling
Join our
stories
Telegram.
about dreams, reading group, and sharing our art together.
What celebrity do you, I have a question for the audience. What celebrity do you think is really a homunculus? And please slap their face on a picture of a homunculus like
Mhm.
this, and please send it to me. I want to do a flip book.
I think Elijah
Ah.
Wood is a perfected homunculus.
I think you're correct. That
Amy
seems
Schumer.
pretty,
The homunculus.
Amy Schumer. Mm, yeah. Yeah. Has someone have a book prepared to read from?
Yeah, I do. I'm switching gears a little tonight, though.
That's okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm reading Smokehouse Ham, Spoon Bread, and Scuppernong Wine
Wow.
by Joseph E. Dabney. Southern Appalachian Cooking, the folklore and art of. A celebration of folklore handed down from Scotland, England, Ireland, Germany, and the Cherokee Nation. The sassafras, I'm going to read about sassafras tea, but before I do that, it's not too long, so I'm going to read about Scuppernong wine. Atlanta food and wine writer Jane Garvey declares muscadine wine, boasting a powerful grape character, exerts a magnetic attraction for Southerners. Indeed. Muscadine's cousin, the bronze, juicy, wild Scuppernong, also makes a powerful wine that has been quite popular through the Appalachians for centuries. Thomas Jefferson proudly compared wines made from North Carolina Scuppernongs to the finest wines from Europe. The word Scuppernong derives from the Indian word Aspinong, I think. The sweet bay tree found growing along North Carolina's Scuppernong River. The following recipe is adapted from one published in the Firefox Book of Winemaking and produced by the students at Rabun County High School in Northeast Georgia. Why didn't I go to that high school? The basics were offered by Clarence Lusk, whom the students interviewed. Rabun County Scuppernong wine, 3 gallons mashed Scuppernongs, 5 to 6 pounds sugar, 1 large churn, and a packet of yeast. Wash the grapes, mash them, and place in churn. Add water until grapes are just floating. Place a cover on churn and allow to ferment for around 8 days. Use a wine strainer and strain out the juice in small amounts, discarding the pulp. Add 3 pounds of sugar for each gallon of juice. Add the yeast. Put a cloth over the churn and let ferment for 9 to 10 days until fermentation stops. Bottle the wine with a loose top and put it in a cool place. Appalachian beers is really good too, but I think I'll just go to, let's go to Methligan. Or I don't know if that's how you say that or not. Does anybody know? You ever heard of Metheglin or Metheglin?
Sounds good. Sounds right.
He
Never been
says,
there.
I cannot leave this chapter without including one of the sweetest and most popular fermented beverages of the Appalachian country. Hand-me-downs from the Saxons and the Greeks. Honey-based, excuse me, Metheglin. Botanist William Bartram was a great admirer, as well as William Alexander, who wrote in his diary of soothing Metheglin. Its popularity was high throughout the colonial interior country. In 1649, a Virginian wrote of a farmer who kept bees and made excellent Metheglin, a pleasant and strong drink. Old Mixon's History of Carolina from 1708 notes that the bees swarm there 6 or 7 times a year, and the Metheglin made there is as good as Malaga sack. That's good stuff, Malaga sack. Martha Washington, in her early 1700s book of cookery, offered this recipe for the honey drink. The Martha Washington cookbook, incidentally, was brought to life by noted food historian Karen Hess, who meticulously transcribed the old text. And then I go, well, actually, the recipe's kind of cool because it's really old in the old English. To make Metheglin, take a quart of honey and 6 quarts of water. Let it boil, B-O-Y-L-E, ye third part away, and boil it 3 races of ginger. When it is cold, put it in a pot which hath a spigot, and put yeast into it, and let it stand 3 days, and then bottle it up and put into ye. Cider making was my favorite time. The men began preparation for cider making several days before. For months, they had been looking for the right size of poplar tree to make the cider press. After they found the tree, they took horses into the woods to haul it home. Limbs, leaves, and bark were stripped from the trunk, which was hollowed out about halfway through, making a trough. Near the bottom of a log, a small hole was bored with a spout to let the apple juice drip into a bucket. A round mallet made from hickory was used to pound the apples into pulp. When the apples were sort of like coarse sand, a press was put on them to force all the juice out. The juice was strained through a cloth to get out the tiny bits of pulp. Fresh cider didn't last long. We had a way to preserve it. It soon fermented. It became hard cider and then vinegar. Hard cider can make you as drunk as moonshine. That's from
but not as fast.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't done with that recipe. That was a little interlude. So and put into ye bottles a little lemon and a stick of cinnamon and a few raisins of ye sun, and let it be a fortnight before you drink it.
I liked it better when that was into the recipe and you were supposed to just drink it by putting it into ye.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Right.
What are you reading from, Martin? I'm sorry. I tried to go let
it's,
people know on my channel that it's better to just come to the Weaving Spiders channel, and that really this is just a test run. So if you're in the audience and you can hear my voice on my SB Alger channel, please realize that the higher quality and more engaging behavior is going to be over on the Weaving Spiders channel, which is listed in the description. But thank you for tuning in. But anyway, what's the book? I'm sorry, man, to interrupt.
Oh, no, that's fine. It's can you see that? Oh, it's backwards, isn't it?
Smokehouse hams, spoon bread, and scuppernong wine. The folklore and art of Southern Appalachian cooking by Joseph E. Dabney. And
Cool.
That's all I can read. The text gets too small.
No, beautiful. Because I heard you mention Firefox. I got a couple Firefox books in my library. I hope to collect the rest of them eventually. They're really famous, really excellent books about all kinds of things. Everything from how to make a mandolin to how to dress out a deer, and you name it, man. Those Firefox books are they're the real thing.
Who's that
Sean.
Canadian guy that's putting out all those books about the old ways? Can't think of his name, but he's like he's an older guy, but he's into martial arts. I can't think of his name, but I was into him several years ago. I can't. Whatever.
I don't think I know.
I'm gonna read about sassafras tea because
quick announcement, Sean, you're simulcasting to your YouTube channel. We can hear your voice. We don't hear the rest of the audio from Zoom, which is fine because it's a sound test on Wednesday nights.
Oh, I see. So it's only playing my voice over there.
Only picking up your voice and not the Zoom.
Thank you for telling me. Yeah, we'll figure it out better in the future, folks. Please join me over on the Weaving Spiders channel for the full experience, and we will figure out how to get Jim's stream key or something and make it happen more effectively next time. So
just simulcast.
Also, I have since we're talking about Canadians, I have a quick Canadian joke.
Please go ahead with that.
Yeah, it is.
Take your time. Canadians are slow people. Kaylee, where are you tonight?
Now, did you mean that as an insult, or just that they take it easy and take their time? Or are you saying that they're actually like less intelligent, like they're slow?
I say they have a lot of soul. We love them so much, and we want them in our weaves and streams.
So,
I love Canadians with all of my heart. They're so awesome.
Well,
I love their bacon most of all, and pizza with pineapple.
If Lincoln was the president for Canada, what would be his name?
Ope. It'd be Opie Lincoln.
Hey, Lincoln.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, Lincoln.
Hey, LMA.
Hoser.
It's an alien.
Hoser. You hoser. That's not even funny, eh?
That was really dumb.
No, that was great.
Before we're through with our existence, we will have recorded every scene from Strange Brew, and then we'll collate them all into one audio.
We're through with our existence.
Yes.
Can I finish this? Just this one.
Yeah, please. We want to hear the sassafras.
We are being very rude. There's a reader here, and we keep cutting.
Oh no, that's fine. I only want to read it because I got these two sassafras roots from Snake's father-in-law, Jenny's dad.
Yeah,
Bill. He gave them to me when we were down there, and I'll make tea. It's really good stuff.
Snake Jones needs some sass for his ass. He's requesting it in the comments in the stream. So
all right, here it comes, Snake. All right. Sassafras tea, spring tonic supreme. Drink sassafras tea during the month of March, and you won't need a doctor all year. Old Mountain saying. Ginseng tea cheers the heart of a man that has a bad wife. I think that ginseng tea, they mean sassafras, and makes him look down with great composure on the crosses of the world. William Byrd of Virginia. Sass tea, my lord, yes, we made it. Frank Presley, hardy scion of the western North Carolina mountain country, was remembering the heady growing up of his days of his youth on 4,000 foot high Cullowhee Mountain. We'd get the roots of that sassafras and my mom would boil it for medicine. Some people like to drink it as a tea. They all said it would thin the blood and refresh the spirit. But to me, that dark red drink had a sickening taste. Sassafras
everything
tea
else.
is
Some people like it, some people don't.
right. Like anything. Sassafras tea is still popular across the Appalachian South. Dick Friermeyer of Kentucky is one of the great advocates. He says that not only will sassafras tea pick you up, chewing on sassafras root, which I do, I recommend. I actually use the sticks to clean my teeth. It's the root. You got to have the root.
Oh yeah, you were showing us that. I want some.
Yeah, and he said, all right, well, we could make that work.
We'll hook it up, man. I got your email somewhere, I think.
I'll just come out to.
You come right to
You're not
Boise.
in
and I'll
Walla Walla,
accommodate
are you?
you. No, I'm in
You're in
Boise,
Idaho,
Idaho,
aren't
but
you,
I'll
Boise?
accommodate you here. If you can make it here, Martin, you are fully accommodated.
Right on, man.
I'm not even going to go inside and ask my wife. I'm just going to tell her, hey, I said Martin could come.
He can sleep in the garage, right?
We don't do that to you. There's plenty of room. We'll make room inside the house here.
I like to throw my tent out in the backyard anyway.
We're down with that too.
Chance will tell you. Although I did have to go in one night at Snakes because it was cold. I know, I'm a weenie.
No, that's not being a weenie. Now, if you have to make it, you just survived. But if you got a house that you can just go inside of, then you just go inside.
Well, I just don't get much sleep when I'm in the cold. So
yeah, same.
And I had to
camp
drive
in
home the
someone's
next day.
living room. I set up a cot and I camp in the living room.
Yeah, it was cool.
I mean,
Thanks,
I already
Snake.
got
You for
plans in my
listening.
mind to getting out there to see one of you guys. I'm gonna find some way to get somewhere and see somebody for fun because I'm getting sick of this staying home all the time thing.
No shit, man.
I'm a traveling fool. I've been all around this world and I'm not gonna stay home forever. I can tell you that right now.
I'm with you, brother. All right, let me finish up here.
Yeah, let's just recipe. That's what we call it at my house, a recipe.
Sassafras tea is still popular across the Appalachian South. Dick Friermeyer of Kentucky is one of the great advocates. He says that not only will sassafras tea pick you up, chewing on a sassafras root will calm you down. Besides that, Friermeyer claims the versatile wild root will whiten your teeth. And to top it all, saith Mr. Friermeyer, if you want to give your flower plants more vigor, sprinkle some strong sassafras tea on them. Hardy pioneers pouring down the Great Philadelphia Wagon Road to settle the Appalachians used many plants, leaves, roots, and barks for hot and cold beverages, but sassafras was the most popular. There was a little ditty used to promote the sassafras tonic in earlier days. In the spring of the year, when the blood is too thick, there's nothing so fine as a sassafras stick. It tones up the liver and strengthens the heart, and to the whole system new life doth impart. The first Spanish explorers in America considered sassafras not only a fine beverage, but a powerful cure-all for ailments that ran the gamut. The British traders and settlers who came later agreed. They got the idea from the Indians, who used the root to treat fevers, rheumatism, and to strengthen women following childbirth. The Indians used powdered sassafras as a great drug to treat wounds and venereal infections. From the areas around Jamestown in the 1600s, Captain John Smith and others sold shiploads of roots to England and Europe. It was touted as a cure all for whatever ailed you, from sore eyes to stinking breath, from dysentery to gout. The sass roots fetched a fancy price, upward of $1,000 a ton. But after a few decades, Europeans slowly determined that the highly acclaimed root was not all that it was cracked up to be. I wonder who scuttled that little experiment with homeopathy. Were the Rockefellers involved then? It was probably their ancestors. Bastards. They do it all the time.
Here, people need to realize that the Rockefellers are fully responsible for destroying natural homeopathic means that we had to cure and improve the health of ourselves. They did it
Absolutely.
as a targeted thing because they're demon possessed.
And so many others. The Tesla.
right.
Have you seen Tesla Tech? Chance, you know about this. It's Clive DeCarl. He refurbishes these Tesla devices that were in all the hospitals. They were curing amazing stuff.
Violet Ray
And
too.
they got scuttled.
I have one I bought about 100 years old, and I'm trying to figure out how to refurbish it. All the windings have the insulation's worn off, so they're shorted out. But it's possible. I'm trying to teach myself electronics so I can set it up with modern stuff. Or I guess I could probably just rewind.
You got to be a glass blower too, don't you?
I have a bunch of the tubes. I got.
You do.
Yeah, I bought a kit that, I mean, it's a whole box, and they came with the guy threw in like 20 different tubes. So I've got like a whole set. Got the comb. You can run through your hair, a couple combs. A couple of the ones that you can that go inside.
Yeah. Well, or for your dick too, your penis.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
have a book that it's just been sitting on my list of books to read for a while called The Dark Side of the Brain. And it's about a dude named Henry Oldfield who pioneered and was one of the leading researchers in Kirlian photography and electrotherapy. So he invented something called electrocrystal therapy. It began with using Kirlian photography to diagnose diseases based on the idea that each cell has a unique radio frequency that is also a mechanism to control its function, and that our brain controls our cellular function this way. And so he had actually, around the 80s, his device was so effective at diagnostics that it wound up getting put in almost every hospital, and then all the major ones. And then when it was realized that this electrocrystal therapy, using crystals actually to generate the frequencies that were then transmitted to the body, was doing stuff like curing cancer, he was right out. They assassinated his character, removed his devices from all the hospitals, and he's swept into the dustbin of history. But I've been meaning to read this because I really want to learn more about Kirlian
Fuck the
photography.
Rockefellers.
Really interested about the crystal part of this.
Yeah, that is interesting. Definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, let me continue. Across the Appalachians, however, Sass's popularity as a tasty pick-me-up and as a year-round beverage waned only slightly. It remained the beverage of choice to be consumed cold in summer and hot in winter. Later on, Sass tea was taken to combat obesity. The old saying went, "I got so thin on sassafras tea, I could hide behind a straw." The late Robert Sparks Walker of Chattanooga, whose book Torchlight to the Cherokees gave a classic account of the New England Protestants who came to the Appalachians in the early 1800s as missionaries to the Cherokees, recalled that sassafras tea was not only beautiful in color, but was always a favorite beverage at meal times. A small shrubby tree, sassafras usually is found in patches in light woods and overgrown fields. It is also known as the mitten tree because some of its leaves are shaped like mittens, oval with thumb-shaped leaves. Some leaves have 2 thumbs, some none. For tea purposes, folk dig the roots early in the spring while the trees are still dormant, which Bill did. Thanks, Bill. And when the bark peels off easily, the small sapling roots make excellent tea. Rich red in color. I don't think this variety's, it's not like the ones further east. It's not as red. But later in the year, when the sap rises, the roots give off a bitter taste. The aforementioned Orville Wilson told me that any herb you dig from the ground, sassafras included, will have a funky taste if you boil it before you dry out the roots. Of course, it's all right if you want to chew the sassafras for your own gums, like yellow root. They're good for your mouth, for ulcers in your stomach, whatever ails you in your stomach and intestines. And here's a little side note from Robert Sparks Walker's book, As the Indians Left It. I never did become a coffee drinker. We did, however, like very much the fragrant tea made of spice bush that grew in great abundance on the banks of the Chickamauga River. The sassafras tea made of the roots of the red sassafras was not only beautiful in color, but was a favorite beverage at meal times with us. The deep crimson berries of spice bush were popular substitutes for spice commerce when the store-bought spices were difficult to obtain. Good to know. Mountain folk say that to boil up a good flavored root tea, avoid metal pots. First job is to clean the roots and scrape off the bark. If the roots are big, save that bark though. They say it has psychogenic properties. They need to be pounded with a lot with a hammer. Cut the roots into small pieces and dry them near a fire or in an oven for 2 or 3 hours. The bark can be reused several times or can be stored for use throughout the year. Sassafras tea has been a favorite from pioneers in Sevierville, Tennessee, named for the great patriot and Indian fighter John Nolichucky Jack Sevier, who became Tennessee's first governor. And here's a little side note from J. Hector St. John de Crevecoeur, letters from an American farmer. Some time ago, as I was walking through my woodland, I found a thrifty sassafras tree about 3 inches in circumference. You must recollect the fragrance which the blossoms of our wild vine afford. There is none in the southern countries that equal it. They perpetually exhale the most odoriferous smell. Next year, I intend to send you some of the sassafras blossoms properly dried. I think their infusion is far superior to the Chinese tea. Alas, had the Chinese exclusively possessed the sassafras, we would think it voluptuous to regale on it. But because it grows wild in our woods, we overlook it. And like fools, we poison our bodies, lessen our pockets in purchasing those far-fetched Chinese leaves. Amen to that. Fuck China.
Big up that.
I
Here
love
it
that
is.
we're getting a little bit of insight into Martin's opinions here. I appreciate it.
You got one right there.
in the spirit of actual correctness, not PC-ness. Not the people of China, but the Chinese
Right.
government
Thank
is what
you,
we
Chad.
say. Fuck
Yeah.
the Chinese government and all that.
Thank you, Chance.
Fuck the
Appreciate
Chinese
that.
Well, we got general
Just
attitude
because
around here. I'm sure
I have at least one
fuck
awesome
government.
Chinese friend, and
Right.
there's
I do too.
a lot of fascinating stuff from China in their lore. But yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry to derail. Just a
No,
little
no
bit.
derail. This is good. I'm glad
Yeah.
you did it.
But I agree. Fuck the Chinese government. Fuck the
Yeah,
CCP. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
God, they just heard us say that. Don't they own
You
YouTube?
know that when that's on recording now. What are they
Let's
going to
just
do?
all
We're not
let's
afraid.
just
We're not
all
afraid of
say
these
it
guys.
once. Let's just all say it once. Get all the F bombs out. Let's just bleep all the F bombs at once.
Fuck!
Fuck.
Ah.
Hey, if you're a little kid and you're listening to this, plug your ears because we're going to say, fuck.
All right, it's out. It's out.
And fuck you, Benjamin Franklin.
Fuck you, Benjamin Franklin.
Your fucking neck, Ben.
Fuck you, Benjamin Franklin.
The Chinese government first, the CCP, and then Benjamin Franklin, and then Elon Musk.
Oh, I don't
Hey,
know.
well, hold
Elon.
on. I like Twitter and Elon just bought it. So the jury's out on Elon. We'll see what happens. I might like
I
it.
think you're right, SB.
I think he's just a homunculus, to be honest. Him and Mark
No, he's just an
Zuckerberg.
actor. His mom raised him up to be this part, and he's been trying to get ready for it his whole life, and he's doing as good as he can. Smoking blunts with Alex Jones and running his mouth about Mars and stupid shit.
Yeah, he just
I
wants
his
to get us
fault.
back to Mars, where we're from.
Who knows? Who knows how many rituals they put him through at age 11 to get him to where he is now?
And then
No shit.
he just wants to do a illegal, elongated muskrat race on Mars to make
That's right.
more money.
You got it, Chris.
I mean, he's welcome to come on our show, and we can, as long as we're allowed to ask him some questions. So, Elon, if you're listening, if you want to join us, we'll send you the Zoom link. But get ready to get grilled. It's going to be an Ask You Almost Everything stream. So get ready to answer some questions.
That would be a fun stream.
We
That
got
would be
questions.
the
And don't
best.
bring anybody with you, especially not your fucking weirdo ex-girlfriend. Anyway,
Chris, sounds like you listened to a little James Evan Pilato on Media Monarchy.
A little bit.
Elon the muskrat.
Oh,
Well,
muskrat.
Maybe he heard it
elongated
from me
muskrat.
because I call him that all the time. Thank you, James.
Well, I also call him that because of the Lucid video
oh, I didn't plug my battery in.
from Lucid TV episode 5, I think it is. He has that skit where it's the late 80s goth club music, and he's singing about rats driving cars and Elon going to Mars. And then I took that and changed it to elongated muskrat. And then after that, then I heard other people say it. I'm like, great, I wasn't the only one.
Nice. So you came up with it on your own before you heard anyone else say it. That happens sometimes and people trip out.
Oh yeah, that happened to me. Okay, so really quick, this will probably be interesting to share. This is the most recent time Hollywood has taken an idea from me. There's been more odder cases, but this is just a small, more recent one. I have been writing a fun short story to get me back in the creative writing flow. It's a teen comedy, like a 90s teen comedy about teens working at Blockbuster Video.
Nice.
And then Alan sends me this thing. Netflix is doing a situational workplace comedy set in Blockbuster Video that's coming to Netflix.
Trippy.
And so I was like, I literally started writing this like, I don't know, like
Chris,
6
so I
months
don't
ago.
forget.
Yours
I
will be
recently
better.
made an appearance on a newer show called Conspiracy Cinema, and it was my very first time meeting this man that was just mentioned, James Evan Pilato. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just met that guy for the first time during a stream.
He's got the only way that you'll ever want to watch news or listen to news is with him making fun of it.
Yeah, I haven't tuned in yet. I met him. It was Jared's idea, the producer of Conspiracy Cinema. You can find it on Odyssey. Is the only place it's published right now, and it's the second episode he's invited me to do. The first one was with Ben Balderson, and we watched The Holy Mountain, and then he just invited me to join James Evan Pilato and watched Harrison Bergeron, which is an adaptation of a Kurt Vonnegut short story. It's quite different than the original story, but it's still an amazing. The movie shocked me so much I was almost speechless. So you could imagine it must have been pretty shocking because I don't exactly shut up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was exciting to meet him, and he seems like a really chill, awesome guy. I really want to thank Jared for introducing us, and I look forward to tuning into some of his making fun of the news. His only news broadcast I've listened to was from the folks over at our other friends over at Vacation Forever is the one show. It's Buffalo and Leg.
Reality Check. Buffalo.
Thank you. False Reality Check. They had some people on as a guest who do some making fun of the news and propaganda report, and that was pretty good too. You know, I really don't. Even making fun of the news, I have a hard time listening to much, but I'm definitely going to check out Media Monarchy because I thought James was a really cool cat. We had a really nice flow. What we would call in this department that we live in here, we would call it a nice weave. We had an excellent weave. So because Jared's a visionary, he knows how to get crazy people together and introduce them for the first time and ask them about crazy stuff and see what they say.
Well, our boy Jared actually produces Media Monarchy too, so he's a busy dude. And
I didn't realize he's that busy. Wow, that's a lot of stuff to produce.
Yeah, Media Monarchy's been on the air for 16 years.
Yeah.
He is amazing. And he also does a lot of stuff with Corbett. They have him and James Corbett, who's a total legend. They have a weekly show called New World Next Week.
Yeah, I heard about that. I used to tune into Corbett way back in the day. It's been a long, long time, man. I haven't checked out James Corbett for years.
Speaking of Rockefeller Medicine, go look up his documentary on Rockefeller Medicine and it'll give you the whole story. Corbett.
Yep.
Between Jared and Gabe talking, between Jared's Conspiracy Cinema and Gabe talking about the Wizard of Oz has really pushed me to really want to do something to break down Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because in my eyes, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was the next, like that was the 90s version of the Wizard of Oz. They was testing out this animation.
Yeah, it was.
Live action hybrid. It still holds up better than most movies today, just like the Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm. And it's a very similar story, but they was taking new myths instead of Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion and all these more mythical creatures from old times. It was updating them into more of a advertisement for other properties, which kicks off things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Ready Player One, right?
And it was the first time they put cartoons and movies together too, so it was a lot like the Wizard of Oz. Because that was the first time they did color. So there's a lot of similarities. I'd be interested in that to see somebody decode.
We wouldn't
Roger
have
Rabbit.
Space Jams without Roger
That's
Rabbit's
right.
first.
Exactly. There would be no Space Jam without Roger Rabbit first.
And there's so much symbolism between that and the highway that I could get into. I would want to rewatch it first, because they build a highway through Toontown and all that, and there's just so much to do that movie.
Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah.
Hey, so
we should do it.
Okay, since we've so thoroughly derailed Martin, and we're talking about movies. Maybe this is a good time, because I got to bail soon, for me to, relive the intention of talking about dreams for Alan.
Yes,
and
please. Thank you.
So I've
got a dictionary here, so maybe I can refer to the 10,000 dream interpretations from this dictionary of dreams.
I'm so sorry.
So
Mark,
I want to. I want to give. I already told the story on Vibrant, but I want to tell the story of my first dream experience, because it's very movie-like, and all the mugwort dreams are very movie-like. Mm-hmm. From taking Michelle's mugwort tincture.
I've been taking it too.
After that, I'd like it if everybody will bless my mugwort water after I tell this dream story through the Zoom speaker, because I just doubled the dose and put 2 dropperfuls in. It's going to be a wild ride tonight.
Ooh, I've been doing it too. Go ahead. I want to hear your experience.
Okay, so here, I've had a lot of crazy mugwort dreams in the last 3 days since I started doing it. It's 3 for 3. in terms of effectiveness. But the first night I took it, I had a dream that myself and it felt like the whole crew of spiders was there. The whole so this is another team spiders fighting against ancient evil type of dream. Good one. And so we were the main one that I remember in terms of my wingman was Jim. Jim and I have fought ancient demiurge pirate Cthulhu monsters in previous dreams, so it makes sense that he would be my right hand samurai. And we had katanas. We were in an ancient ruin that had just been dug up recently, and some unspeakable horror evil had emerged from it. It was this evil deity that was like a terracotta warrior come to life, and he had brownish green clay skin. That's my cat. And
she's got
the
her
knowledge
part of the story.
The knowledge we had in the dream was that if this being escaped from the archaeological dig site, he would bring destruction upon the whole earth. So we were there to take him out, and me and Jim go after him first, and we get the initial blow in and chop off his head. And this guy, he's got his like terracotta samurai armor on, and he's headless. And then he gets back up off the ground with no head and is somehow laughing. And he stabs Jim. He takes Jim out.
Oh no.
I don't think Jim was dead, but he was not in the fight anymore. And we realized that this was too powerful and we needed to all regroup at the entrance. And me and a few of us, I can't remember which ones of us, were trying to get away. And then enter Slick Dissident. Except this was Slick Antagonist. In this dream, Gabriel was on the team of the bad guy, Terracotta Warrior Monster. Oh, and the Terracotta Warrior Monster guy was going to resurrect an entire army of Terracotta Warriors as part of his world conquest plan. So we're trying to get away, and we've got Gabriel surrounded, but he's also blocking our exit for some of us. And we're coming at him, trying to stop him. Gabriel is like younger. He looks like he's about 21. So he's a young, slick antagonist. He's wearing a blue and white, mostly white with blue trim, samurai kimono. And he's got a katana, and he's laughing at us and having a great time as none of us can land a single blow. And he's deftly blocking, quick as lightning, every strike that comes his way. And I don't know how the dream ended, because it was a long extended fight scene of nobody could touch Gabriel, and he was the most ferocious samurai.
Like in real life.
Yeah, that's what I assume Gabe's like in real life. Like people get mad and try and punch him, and he just goes, "Whoa, now, hey, we better talk this out," and then keeps dodging punches and laughing and like, "Don't, you're not going to be able to hit me now. Stop."
Was he covered in butter? Was that why he was untouchable?
That makes a lot of sense.
I think this happened before.
Gordy was just off scene and buttered him up real good from his coffee cup.
Well, what was funny is that was the night before Kaylee and Rachel did their tarot stream, where Gabriel was again the antagonist in that live chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, now I guess I missed that. Gabe was giving people hell in the live chat.
Not that bad, but they made him out to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
So it was all fun and games. Yeah. Anyway, maybe tonight I can re-enter that dreamscape and complete the mission with the double dose of mugwort or something.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to charge up your mugwort. Everybody focus their
I'm
attention.
putting the speakers right next to the water. It's got the mugwort in it.
Go kick some ass, Chance.
Oh, yeah.
May this mugwort bestow upon the imbiber the dream state of valor and conquering the terracotta warriors of the mind and the archons, and
May Chance
Let
bring
us-
easily into submission.
Let me bring my singing bowl. This will work for this. Hold on.
All right.
And kick Gabriel's ass.
And kick Gabriel's ass.
May the
May Chance
spider,
easily be able to kick
gore
Gabriel
bless
and all others' asses.
May there be a lot of butter.
I think it
I'm gonna hit a
works.
fork for you.
Okay, cool.
I'm not seeing kimono in my dictionary. Is there another word we could look up?
I don't know, robe?
Robe. Okay. I think this dictionary is divided into like masculine and feminine. So is it a masculine robe or a feminine robe?
It's a masculine robe. What does it say about terracotta warrior evil gods?
Let's see. I'm looking for robe first.
Ding, ding.
Oh, duh, it's a foreign dictionary. Of course,
Life
it's divided.
insurance man, macaroni. To
Okay.
dream of eating macaroni denotes small losses. To see it in large quantities denotes that you will save money by the strictest economy. For a young woman, this dream means that a stranger will enter her life. Dream of macaroni.
Oh,
I
put
found
that
it.
back up, Chris. This
Oh,
is
it's
the talk in the tarot stream of Kaylee's the other night was that I suggested, we were talking about butter a lot, and I suggested Gabriel would be really hard to catch if you buttered him up. So this is the image Chris made.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah. I was wondering where that came from. That's great. I didn't know the context. I just still loved the picture no matter what.
Hey, Emma, can you hit us with that singing bowl before
Oh,
I drink
yeah.
this water?
Yeah,
Thank
I got
you.
it in Sedona too. It's actually a really nice one. Let's see. I forgot what note it was. I think it was G or H, but I got one of the crystal stores there.
I hope it's G. That's my favorite.
I think that's what it was.
Real G.
Can you hear it well?
Yeah,
Yes.
coming through. It was. Now it's a little quieter.
Ta-da!
This is gonna be the trippiest mugwort ever. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, what? Where did you get it at? Because I want some.
Michelle'sHealingHome.com.
Michelle's
She,
okay. Google.
she was on Vibrant
Yeah.
tonight. You gotta check it out. She was incredible.
She's
Michelle.
also
They're
there.
I've
really
been taking it too, and I've gotten a couple killer dreams chance, but really I've getting like this. I'm trying to get into the lucid dreaming thing, and I've been slacking a little bit, but I just end up with these dreams where I'm like in this static participatory state, but I can't fully engage. And it's
We
just
talked
so
about that
weird.
on Vibrant, dude. This is like the protective power of mugwort is that it often puts you into the pure observer role during the
Yeah,
dream.
and I wake up and I know I've been doing like all these things, like I've been watching a whole thing going on, and I can't.
That's why it's like a movie.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
My dreams have been insane lately too.
I just
think I've
drank
written
it,
some
and now
down.
I'm
Yeah,
having.
I
I'm
missed
having that
Vibrant tonight. I
feeling.
gotta check that out.
I just
So do you
slammed
guys
it, and
see
I'm
this?
having that feeling like after you just put a bunch of acid on your tongue, and you're like, "Well, now this is happening."
Oh,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
This
See you
train will
tomorrow.
move.
So I had this
Thanks,
dream
Jamie.
last night. If you can see this entity, this creature here, it's
Yeah,
actually
no mugwort, right, Jim? This is just a
no
regular
mugwort. This is just a
Jim made
dream. So this is a sculpture that S.B. Alger sculpted, and it's a gorilla piece of art. And he was taking it in the dead of night to different parks all over in Idaho, and he would leave it for a day. And it was a big mystery. Like it was blowing up all over the place, and I got to see what it was. And it was like sort of like a watermelon. It had like this really beautiful green outside skin, and then it had all these like sort of design grooves cut into it where you could see the internals of it, and it was like red, like almost pinkish bright shapes that were inside of it, so you could see the like guts inside of it. And from a distance it looked like it was a creature, sort of like it almost looked like a face, and like these were its teeth, these four things here, which when you got closer to it, upon closer inspection, they were like arms. They were jutting out into like all these directions, like probably, between 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock, on the clock face, all that far around it. And they had, when you looked at them closely, they look like they're like those, those designs that they have on menus, and you take a picture of it with your phone, and your phone takes you to a website. So it was
a QR code.
It was like a QR code, but it wasn't like there was no
like a pattern that your phone recognizes and takes you to a universal resource locator.
But it was a big trick.
URL.
It was a big trick to get people to come up and try to QR code it, but it didn't go anywhere because there were no straight lines on it. It just it looked like it, and it was insane. It was beautiful. It was huge. It was about 7 feet tall.
So I'm looking for watermelon in my dreams dictionary, and it doesn't include watermelon. You guys are just hitting me with the most difficult topics, and I'm just coming up empty here.
Now,
We got water carrier, waterfall, water lily, waves. No watermelon.
Look up just melon or fruit.
If you're talking melons, I think this is a PG rated dream interpretation manual. I know a lot of dreams sometimes are exotic and erotic, so melons could mean different things in different contexts. I'm still looking
it could
for
mean
road.
golden bozos, if you know what I mean.
I didn't find road, but I found road or rope, and those sound similar, but it's not robe.
Look up sculpture.
I got a rooster.
Hey,
Or what pajamas? Robe would count for pajamas, kind of.
On
What's
her
up, Emma?
website, on Michelle's healing home, do you buy it on it, or is it just a PDF?
No, you're going to have to contact her and tell her that you're interested in the mugwort. She might not have anything left. It's all small batches.
I
But
have
if
her
she's on
Instagram. I'll look her up.
Here's the move that you want to do is subscribe to her newsletter. And so whatever she makes, she puts out a newsletter about it, and it's like, I've got 10 bottles of that, or whatever.
Yeah, it's real small, tiny batches.
First name,
But it's hardcore quality.
Yeah,
it is. It's
sounds
so
like
good.
it.
I bought the mugwort and I bought the lemon balm, and I'm having such a hard time not using up all the lemon balm because I'm being absolutely greedy for the taste and the feeling it gives me.
Okay, I have her Instagram. I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah,
I have lemonade and
signed up
lemons.
for
If you're dreaming
her
of lemons,
newsletter.
I'm gonna make my own.
to
Me
dream
too.
of seeing lemons on their
Like a
native
walking
trees
dog
among
extra
rich
mile to
foliage
make
denotes
your own.
jealousy towards some beloved object, but demonstrations will convince you of the absurdity of the charge. To eat lemons foretells humiliation and disappointments. Green lemons denote sickness and contagion. To see shriveled lemons denotes divorce if married and separation to lovers. If you drink lemonade in a dream, you will concur with others in signifying some entertainment as a... Okay, so they're using the N word with an ly at the end of it. Device.
No, there's a D in there. There's a D in there.
Niggardly was
Yeah,
word.
niggardly
is
means a
the
very
word,
small
yes.
amount. Yeah.
Yes.
I never
Device.
To
heard
be
that.
stingy. To be stingy.
It's not the N
Well,
word
isn't-
per se.
Now, wasn't there a rapper who
That's-
released an album about lemonade?
Probably.
Yeah, he got in trouble for his
Beyonce?
girlfriends.
So have
Wasn't it
any
Beyonce?
key.
I don't
Could have been something.
Oh, I was thinking of the guy that peed on young girls.
Jim's thinking of R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, yeah.
Lemonade with
Oh,
the air
that's
quotes,
cold.
guys. Lemonade.
Yeah,
You're thinking of the Illuminati
Want to drink
lemonade.
a lemonade?
since
That was
Don't
really
go to
good.
don't go to that website Lemon Party. Don't ever
Yeah,
go
do
there.
not go to lemonparty.org.
JZ.
Oh my
You have been
god.
warned.
since we're talking about Michelle's healing home and Vibrant, I promised Snake in the Vibrant chat I would tell my story about the time I had a piece of obsidian deflate like a balloon.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
So
Gotta hear this.
Yeah, we want to know.
Yeah, really.
So a little backstory. As some of you may know, because I've opened up and shared with some of you. But my my dad was the nicest man, and he him and my mom got a divorce, and he tried to use me in the court case. And
Lame.
I had
Been there.
seen him basically Hulk out, like possessed, and like get angry and like come at me and things before. And like I had to stand up to him, and that was the last time I saw him. Was I stood up to him, and then I had to see him again for court because I was going to be on the stand for my parents' divorce when they had to go to court for it. And I wasn't scared of him, but right before we went to court, my mom's lawyer, my mom and I had to go visit my dad's lawyer at his office. And it was a really hot summer day, but it was cold, but you were still sweating, even though the AC was like on full blast and it was cold. You would still sweat. It was like the frozen side of hell. And so I closed my eyes, put my hand up to the wall, and I could literally, in my third eye, see the ooze of like all the energy that they were sucking in that space. So I knew there was some deep, like spiritual attacking being used here. So when I went to court, I had to get prepared. So I put a bunch of bracelets for different things, for like courage and strength and things. And then I had a piece of obsidian and a piece of shungite in each breast pocket of my dress shirt. And then I had a quartz necklace, because quartz boosts everything. So it was like boosting all the things I was wearing, right? And after the court went fine, but afterwards I took the stones out of my pockets, and you could kind of tell in the shungite because it was kind of flat on one side where it wasn't before, but the obsidian was completely flattened like a balloon. And I had to recharge both of them. After they recharged for a day, it took 24 hours, but they expanded back up to the normal size.
Wow,
Oh, dude.
That's awesome.
Well,
Thanks for
That's
telling
amazing,
us. That's
man.
awesome.
Insane.
Weirdest crystal thing that ever happened for me was I was using selenite in a Reiki session, and I placed it against the person's back, and when I went to touch it and slide it a little bit, it started vibrating like a cell phone.
Whoa.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah,
It was cool.
Yeah. Well, it might be scary during the event. For me, I would be like, "Uh-oh, what's going on next? What's going to happen next?"
Well, the reason I say it was like a cell phone is because the person was like, "Is your phone on my back?"
That's weird.
No.
One time I was helping Chance at a music physics fair when he had a booth for Universe, and I had walked around and I was looking at all the different booths, and there was a girl doing crystal reading, kind of like reading runes or tarot, but she had this box of crystals, and each of them was in like a silk bag, so you couldn't see. And then you would pick the ones you want, and then she would do your reading. Well, when I went to go pick it, we had both our arms resting on the table, and this is like a tall wooden box that it was in. And after I drew 3 of the silk bags with crystals in them, there was a 4th one that literally hopped out of the box in its silk bag to the middle of the table, and we both saw it. It was like a frog. It hopped like a frog. It was super weird, and it was the craziest thing to see.
I wonder if there's a whole like website or something of people reporting insane things that happen with crystals.
I think
That's awesome.
my stepbrother was going to school. I think he was getting his PhD or something. Because I know he's what's it called when you like dig up stuff at like old sites? Archaeologist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was doing that, and for his college like thesis, like whatever that paper you have to write, he did one about like my alien experience at my dad's cabin. It was like 15 pages long. And then he did his weird experience he had at the Mojave River he saw a skinwalker basically, and it traumatized him. But I know he showed me a website where you can go on and type in all the like weird alien experiences you've had, crystal experiences, UFO sightings, like anything. I could look it up real quick because I know I put my story on there and it got like 900 like reviews or something.
Oh
Or
wow,
likes.
that'd be
It was
interesting
insane.
if you could read that to us again.
Oh God, I have to
Yeah, if
find
you can
it.
find it, we definitely want to check it out in the chat or something because that sounds badass.
Yeah, whatever
Wonder-
happened to me at my dad's cabin when I was like 17 or 16 years old was insane. It took me like a year to actually like figure out what actually happened to me
Mhm.
because it was just so insane. And then my dad made fun of me for like a year or two. And then something happened to him. And my stepmom told me. And ever since then, he was like going to all those alien conventions in Joshua Tree, spending like $800 a ticket.
Wow.
And he was flying out to places. He was meeting like shamans and like astrologers from Canada. And like it was weird.
Did he apologize for making fun of you?
Hell no.
Yeah, that's weak.
Yeah. If you ever
Weak.
met my dad, he's like the definition of masculine man who hides any emotion
Yeah,
besides
that's too
sarcasm.
bad. If you're a masculine
can't
man
have
and you're listening to
dads. I
this, you gotta
can't
learn
believe-
how to apologize when you're wrong, man.
Yeah,
Your
not
dog-
him.
This
I
masculine
realize
man
you
is
can
gonna
say, I'm sorry.
bail.
Yeah, not my
Right.
dad.
Thank you, Chance.
Yeah, dude. Have a good dream, bro. We're
Yeah.
thinking about you.
Have a good one.
I do have the Dream
Bought the ticket.
Encyclopedia.
Gotta take a ride.
I've got the Dream Encyclopedia entry for Robe ready to go from one of our wonderful chatters.
Okay,
I
I'll
clicked on
wait
the
for that.
link to get it. It says, Robe, a cover, role in which we are covering up ourselves rather than opening up and daring to be us. Ceremonial robes mean that an initiation is being given to you.
Interesting.
One, dreaming of a robe, such as a bathrobe, can have two meanings. One is that of covering up vulnerability, and the other is of being relaxed and at ease. The dream will indicate the correct significance. Two, a robe can suggest our attitude to sex and relationships. If it is clean, we have a good self-image. If dirty, the opposite. A dirty robe could suggest depression. Three, in spiritual terms, the white robe is innocence, and the seamless robe represents holiness. This
All
is
right, so
a
it was a white
compilation here.
ceremonial robe and it was clean. But it was on
representing
Gabe.
holiness, and it was on Gabe.
Or was
Gabe
it
is
a dress?
holy.
He was initiating me? I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like you were in an
Hmm.
initiation.
There's a point in your learning when you
It
have
was my
to challenge the
initiation into
master.
mugwort.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. And he was already a member.
Yeah,
Oh, true.
it
He had
had-
been doing
In
it
spiritual
first.
terms, the
Did
white
he
robe
do
is
it
innocence,
first?
and the seamless robe
That's-
represents
a
holiness.
good
And in
point.
dreams would tend to represent different spiritual awarenesses. Magical robes with different symbols and different colors would signify esoteric knowledge.
Maybe the monster was maybe the guardian of the threshold for whatever realm that mugwort lets you into, and Gabe was trying to guide you through so you can get past that the gatekeeper, so to speak.
Yeah, and
That
you
could
have to
be
defeat
because
the
Gabe
master.
he wasn't really evil, but he was definitely bizarro Gabe.
Right.
Yeah.
To challenge
He
you
wasn't really
and
evil
test your
though. He was
skill.
having fun
Yeah.
with it. Yeah, maybe he was like training me, like you need to get better to defeat this guardian of the threshold. That's a great interpretation.
The master will have
Yeah.
a stick, a
And
big
he
stick,
was
and he'll
all
whack you
there.
into line with
Isn't
it.
that like
Yeah.
the DMT one? Before every time you do DMT, it asks you like, "Hey, are you ready for this?" Because that's been
Mhm.
my experience every time.
You'll
They
And
never
train with a
gave me a
stick,
warning.
but using real weapons in a real scenarios to see if you can survive it.
Yeah,
And-
well, and it makes you stronger.
And you
Yep.
said we was
Well, his
all-
sword was kind of being wielded like a stick because he wasn't attacking; he was just blocking every blow.
Mm.
Yeah, and you said all the spiders was there, and we're all thinking about getting mugwort now, or they have gotten mugwort
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I started
Or
just right
talking
before
about it.
you.
So we was all in a dream because we're all possibly going to be on that same journey. So maybe it's indicating we're all on this path.
Yeah, maybe I'll see you tonight because I'm gonna take my mugwort before I go to bed.
We'll meet you
And
guys at
maybe,
the obelisk tonight.
Maybe Jim taking the hit is symbolic of how Jim always defers to other people and lets them speak first.
Could
Yeah.
be it.
That's included in the promo video at
Yeah.
the beginning of this live stream.
And you know it's bizarre,
specific
Jim, if
statement
he
is
talks as
mentioned.
much as me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Please, chance anyone take the video I made, the promo for Weaving Spiders, and remix it any way you want and repost it again. It's for you. Get the word out there.
All right, I'm really going to bail. Thanks for the extra dream context, unless there's more.
Yeah.
Good night, brother.
Good night.
It
Yeah,
never
good
ends,
night,
Chance.
Chance.
So you're gonna have to say goodnight now.
Night.
Good night.
Good
Now,
night.
Chris,
Bye.
do you have enough video content to fill the countdown for Saturday's show? Do you need more videos?
I've got more ideas for something I can send if you need
Yes,
more.
send more. I just started working on it today because I was working
Okay.
on the promo.
So the visual theme that we're looking for in videos to include in the mashup would
Is
be
dream.
strange, unusual, dream-like states of imagination. And what would you add to that, Chris?
Any type of visualization with the mind, because the mind is a visual thing, right?
Yeah, people sleeping in bed.
Yeah, or sleeping in bed, maybe some astral projection type scenarios, or
Maybe people in
waking
tents
dream,
camping, slumber parties,
slumber parties.
slumber party massacres, horror, dream nightmares.
Friday is Friday the 13th, the night before.
Oh shit.
This Friday?
Yeah, this Friday.
Which is
I'll be Sequoias again. Let's go.
which is really synchronistic because I didn't even consciously remember that Friday the 13th was this Friday, which is also a full moon. So Monday I began working on the compilation and I was finding inspiration in horror movie soundtracks.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I heard the scoring and I was like, yeah.
Dream
And,
Warriors of the
Dream
terracotta
Warriors.
variety. Indeed.
Yeah. And this Friday, for our moviegoers, we are watching the lake horror movie, Friday the 13th-esque parody comedy horror movie called Dale and Tucker versus Evil.
That's a great one.
And I haven't watched it in years. I love it. It's amazing. I'm going to upload it to Telegram soon. So we're going to watch that Friday. It's our Friday the 13th movie. It's Dell and Tucker versus Evil.
That's a cool hangout opportunity. If you're not busy on Friday night, I know a lot of people are going out and the weather is nice and people are busy on Friday nights. That's totally fine as well.
Yeah.
This is a live event though, so you'll want to be there. We don't record it. It's a private event. It's a private hangout.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually watched the vibrant outside tonight as the sun went down. It's so nice here.
Me three.
Yeah.
I was with the goats watching
Yeah.
the brand.
And let's circle back to what Martin said earlier. There was a comment about asking who was this man. The answer was provided to us by Chelsea Dye. She said it was possibly Stefan Verstappen. Is that correct, Martin?
Stefan Verstappen? Yeah, that might be it.
Who is this man that what?
Just talking about
That's him.
old books. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
think I bought a package from him.
He's compiled a bunch of well, from books, just information about the old ways of doing things, by hand, not manufactured by a factory or something, really good stuff, and it runs the gamut from homesteading to growing herbs and making tinctures and things like that. There's just a whole raising animals. There's a lot there, and you can buy it from him actually. It's not very expensive here. It's all digital.
Yeah, PDFs. I think I bought some package. I maybe not the one that you're talking about, but I got something from him. It's on an older hard drive. There's a lot of info.
Okay.
It was a lot of info.
I remember 10 months ago, Freeman Fly, FreemanTV.com, Way of the Warrior with Stefan Verstappen. Stefan, Stefan, Verstappen, Verstappn. Stefan with an F. Way of the Warrior on FreemanTV.com.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Awesome.
been he gets interviewed a lot. He's out there.
The Art
Also-
of Urban Survival, Stefan H. Verstappen, is a book that he's got available. And also,
I should say he used to be interviewed a lot. I think he's really kind of went under the radar. He might have given up kind of. He did, he's trying to transform the world, whatever, but I think
he does have a website, chinastrategies.com. Chinastrategies.com.
Yeah, that it happens a lot. People hit burnout. They try really hard. They have all this zealousness to try to influence the outside world and try to help people wake up or inform people. And a lot of the time people hit burnout with that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me if he's backed off, hopefully he's all right.
Yeah.
He does consulting work. He's a very busy man.
Also, to add a little bit to the whole Friday the 13th Nightmare on Elm Street and the strange theme from last week, this month, Stranger Things Season 4 on Netflix is dropping with the special guest appearance of the actor who played Freddy in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. And in the trailer where he is featured, because it's not going to drop for a couple more weeks, he has his eyes and mouth sewn shut.
Interesting.
Oh, I had no idea.
So that's releasing in May. We're talking about these topics in May, and Strange in May, and your sampling Nightmare on Elm Street in May. And we're talking about dreams in May. It's all happening right now.
May you not have nightmares. May you have good dreams.
I can't wait. I didn't see
Licorice.
anyone do in sync. It's going to be May on April 30th.
Not too much licorice before bed, though. It's black licorice.
Was that a rule at your house, Jim? Not too much licorice before bed?
It's a rule for dreams. You know how cheese affects your dreams, but if too much black licorice, then that'll.
I guess I never heard that
your
one.
dreams.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like this piece of black obsidian that I found in a gravel field. And I was like, that's a strange looking rock. I wonder what it is. And I picked it up and I threw it and it broke like a piece of glass. And I was like, holy smokes, that's obsidian. So I started I was sanding it. I was going to make a black mirror out of it. And there were two sides that were close to flat. So I was sanding this side and this side. This one, because it was a lot closer to flat, but this one is a lot bigger. So I started sanding them both a little bit just to see which one got there first. And I was working away on it. And then my friend comes over and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm just working on this black mirror here.
I can tell which friend it is by the way you said, what are you doing?
Is that obsidian? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, well, I got some of that. And he left and came back a few minutes later and gave me this huge piece, like this big, a beautiful blackest of black obsidian. And so I made a black mirror out of that. But this one I set aside, and it's kind of It's got some smoky lines in it.
Yeah, that's a cool.
Kind of hard to see, but made me
That's
think
a
about it.
cool piece.
I've been staring at it without really registering what it was for a long time. And then when Chris was talking about the obsidian in his pocket, I was like, holy smokes, I better check out that obsidian.
Yeah, they're super powerful, though.
rock?
Really strong of a stone.
Do you have a name for your pet rock, Jim?
I don't.
Does
You guys
Lil
know.
Wayne and Nicki Minaj and Drake and their Young Money label make your bedrock?
Didn't.
Dun-dun-dun.
I remember that
I
song
made-
now.
I thought of another parody SB needs to do during the Vibrant. They was talking about Trillium, and I said you need to do a parody of Lil Wayne's song "A Milli," make it a Trilly.
I love Sean's Little Wayne covers.
Yeah, I've only done one. I never did finish it because it's really hard to play the guitar and sing the rapping
Wayne.
part of. Well, Lil Wayne's not too bad because he's pretty lyrical and his flow is pretty.
He
on
is a
point.
poet. And
What
he
song
knows
is that? Do you have your guitar? You should play it.
No, I don't have a guitar out here. It's called Steady Mobbin'.
Yeah. Great song.
freestyle it with no instrumental. Let's hear the acapella of it.
Yeah, you're on the hook now.
The pressure's on right here. Let's see. Well, you got to be warned. There's a lot of N words in Lil Wayne's songs, so
It's okay if you're covering a rap song.
let's see. Well, that used to be true, but now
I was like, I don't know about now.
Now it's becoming
Change-
even more.
Change it to
woke.
niggardly.
You could say Norwal instead, and Reddit will love you.
Narwhal
Reddit
would
will
be
love
much
you.
harder. I'm trying to think of
Change
how
it to Obsidian. Change it to Obsidian.
Nibba.
Or Shun
that
Guy.
would be hard. Now, if I'm gonna do it, I just got to do it the way I used to because there's no way you can change what I
You could
rehearsed
say
over and over
digger
again.
instead with a D.
That might work, but it's just nigga. I
Digga.
mean, I don't care if
Digga,
people
digga,
hear me
digga,
say
digga,
nigga.
digga.
You
Oh,
could say
We're
that.
nigga.
so
Me
in
too.
your band.
Trying to get the beat in my head.
How does it go?
Goes. Man, fuck these niggas. I swear I spare anything but these niggas. I flip the gun, but these niggas take the knife off of the AK and cut these niggas. Yeah, and fuck these bitches. I swear I spare anything but these bitches. I can't remember.
If
all
I
you
could
get.
have that as a ringtone, I think I would.
Timestamp it and clip
That was
it.
great.
Swear I spare anything but these bitches. Swear I don't
Lord,
care.
dude,
I
what
so what
Godfrey
these
told
bitches
us.
put young moolah money way above these bitches. And if it ain't broke, don't break it. And if he ain't shook, I'm gonna shake him. Hope I don't look weak, cause when the wolves cry wolf, you still see a wolf's teeth, motherfucker. Futuristic handgun. If you act foul, you get 2 shots and 1. I'm in your face like Lancome. You bitches softer than Roseanne, son. You cannot reach me on my Samsung. I'm busy fucking the world and giving the universe my damn tongue. Crazy motherfucker, I am one. But the crazy thing is, I began one. Trying to remember what he says. Talking about taking a shit in his mansion.
With the no
Like-
windows, no
All
blinds.
white bricks, it's straight like it's back, jumping back to 36, nigga. Big house, long hallways, 10 bathrooms, we can shit all day, nigga. And we don't want no problems. Okay, you're a goon. What's a goon to a goblin? Yeah, and Kane's on the beat. Fuck around and leave a nigga's brain in the street. Ooh, and pop that pussy. I take it to my bedroom and pop that pussy.
And
Yeah, we be
I,
steady mobbing. Ooh, Kimasabi. Big ballin' is my hobby. I think that's as far as I got it with.
Some
The
modern day
second verse
lullaby.
is Gucci Mane, and Gucci Mane's rapping is very difficult to translate to like singing like a white guy with an acoustic guitar. So
These are songs to sing to your homunculus.
so can I do a bedtime reading of one of my back when I did listen to Lil Wayne? Unironically, can I do a nighttime reading of it?
Are
part
there
of
people
it.
that listen to Lil Wayne ironically?
Well, see, I fell in love with Lil Wayne because somehow I found this deposition of him completely clowning and threatening this attorney in front of a
Oh.
judge.
Yeah, that's
It was
why
so
we
beautiful.
couldn't listen to him because we thought what he said was so funny, but we took it seriously because it seriously made us laugh.
Yeah,
And
no,
this
Lil Wayne's
is
awesome. He's an amazing character.
Lil
But
Wayne
then
is
after that, I found on YouTube there's Lil Wayne and Katie Couric kind of have like a little love affair tryst where she's kind of got googly eyes over him and really wants Lil Wayne's D, and she's like inviting him on her Katie Couric Today show and like asking him how he's doing and worried about him having seizures because he's taking too much lean, and like he calls her Miss Katie and
Lil Wayne it's a shadow full. He's a shadow full card for Hollywood, and I'm going to read you lyrics to prove my point. If there's no objections.
No, we're all ears. Go for it, man. Let's hear this.
Yeah, I
Little
put my
Tunchi.
shades on. I live it up like these are my last days. If time is money, I'm an hour past paid.
An hour past what?
I'm an hour. If time is money, I'm an hour past paid. I can't do this for the straight face. Alan, if I sent you this, can you read it? Because there's no way I can read the rest of this with this. It's too good. It's too golden. I'm gonna
You're
have
doing
to.
it right, man.
I could attempt it. I don't know that.
It's too comical for me. I'm not trained in keeping a straight face when reading this.
Well, let's train you then. The secret to keeping a straight face is to not think about what you're saying. You focus on the next word and pronouncing it correctly. And you get ahead of yourself before your mind can catch up to what you're saying. You're not interpreting it. You're just reading it blindly.
Okay, I'm gonna read it again. Okay.
Don't think about it. Just read it. Get through it.
Gunpowder in my hourglass. Faker than some flour in a powder bag. Yeah, I put it down like my hand's hurting. I'm on a natural high, but I land perfect. Some of us are lovers, most of y'all haters, but I put up a wall, and most y'all are just wallpaper. So love or hate me, I stay hate-free. They say we learn from mistakes, that's why they mistake me. I got some weight on my shoulders, to me it's just feathers. All hell wheezy, call it bad weather. I stick to the script, I memorize the lines, 'cause life is a movie I've seen too many times. You're on the outside looking in, close the blinds, and they say never, but fuck it, never mind. And this was around the time Justin Bieber came out with Never Say Never, so I always took that as Lil Wayne taking a diss at Justin Bieber for some reason.
Probably.
I've been gone too long, true or false, right or wrong. Hello, Wheezy, welcome home. And I'm gonna skip the chorus because the chorus is just about smoking weed. And the verse is where the meat of it is. So verse 2 goes, Stunna, I got him. I'm back on them bitches, all about my riches. My name should be Richard. Cut the bullshit out. I'm Edward with the scissors. Life is a choice and death is a decision. Time have changed and fuck it, then I'll just get a new watch. I still got the vision like the line between two dots. Young money's eating, the label getting fatter. And yeah, the table's turned, but I'm still sitting at them. I'm a bad motherfucker because the good die young. Everybody selling dreams, I'm too cheap to buy one. Man, when the cookie crumbles, everybody want a crumb. Shoot that hummingbird down. Hummingbirds don't hum. Yeah, big money, deep pockets. Money talks and motherfuckers eavesdropping. Bunch of bloods. You could call them blood clots and East Side. MOB. Like that Ashton Kutcher. I'm a little pusher. See y'all dead meat and me, I'm just a butcher. I do it for the money and man, I'm such a hooker.
Okay, that's hilarious to me. They mentioned Ashton Kutcher. And there was a time when Ashton Kutcher was selling digital cameras.
Yep.
Here I am with my digital camera.
Is that your cushion catcher?
It's not an Ashton Kutcher brand digital camera, but this is my CyberShot U from Sony. And you can see it's
Does it snap butterfly
very
effect?
small,
So
very small camera.
I'll read one more line and I'll be
Nice.
done. The last line I'll read is him saying, and freedom was my girl until they fucking took her.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo!
I just looked at the line after that, and the line after that is, you could look into the future. It's right behind your eyelids.
Oh, Lil, you so dreamy.
This is a mirror.
Oh, Lil.
So I can take selfies. I was taking selfies with this camera at rock concerts. 2003, 4.
Rock and roll style music concerts?
Yeah, heavy sounds, very loud. And this is a Sony CyberShot. Now I've taken the pictures off before, but they have the Magic Gate Memory Stick Pro. This is all of 64 megs. So I don't remember what photos are on this. And I know I've taken them off before, but I would like to go back and see what photos still exist on this Sony CyberShot U camera.
Excellent idea, my friend.
The idea being that dreams might be digital now. There was a point when we lived in an analog world and dreams were analog, but now we've all been ushered into the digital, interconnected world, and our dreams now are digital. So Jim shares his dream with us about this monster that has digital technology on the armor, on the skin suit, or
it was fake digital technology.
Right.
It was to elicit a response from Zoomers to walk up, pull their phone out of their pocket instead of just admiring the art. They would pull their phone out of the pocket to see what the art was telling them to do.
Right,
and then it wouldn't go anywhere, so they would go, "Oh, maybe the next one," and they would click on the next tooth, and it would not take them anywhere, and they would go to the next one, and then the same thing, nothing. Then they would go to the fourth one.
So it's like an alternate reality game that takes over your reality and leads you nowhere. It's
and
like
then they're scratching their heads. They're like, "What is the point?
Analog reality.
What is the point of this art that has these QFR codes, but they're not really QFR codes?" And they wouldn't understand the irony of it just being art.
Right. The point was Sean hiding in the trees looking at you through his night vision goggles.
That would be a good experiment, because what you're essentially saying is that instead of interpreting the artwork inside themselves and seeing what their eye, since they are the beholder of the art, how it connects to them personally on a personal level, they're freelancing that out to technology.
Yeah. Because they've been trained.
So they've also been trained to do this. They have their camera ready, and they're always looking at the world through their black obsidian mirror on their smartphone. So they're staring at a black obsidian mirror, a scrying magic mirror, putting it in front of their face, and they're using the camera to go between their eyes and that's how they're framing the world. And then
Aren't
if
the
they have an
buttons in a
alternate
certain
reality
pattern,
layer
too?
of it, sometimes it adds the 3D objects, or there's something. So it's, what is that word where there's like augmented reality, I think is what
Augmented
they call it.
reality.
So there's ways to augment your reality that are digital, and there's ways to augment your reality that are analog.
Yeah, and that kind of plays into what Regan and I was talking about just the other day. I was using the example of I think how they are turning how they're trying to warp reality, the capital R reality, right? Is there, I use an example of, imagine us like 5G towers, right? We all, perceive, we are all the receiver of consciousness of, God, source, and we shape our own realities around us. So if they wanted to make a huge shift globally, they would need many receivers, like all the different 5G towers they put up at the start of 2020 when we was all in lockdown. So the best way to do that is to get our receivers to put, to put out what they envision instead of what we envision. So we are their receivers, not our own receivers anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's them hijacking our signal.
Yeah.
I saw an advertisement today on my Instagram for like EMF protection and all that. Like, it wasn't an Organite one though, but it's like, do you remember those like mosquito nets you put over your bed that like protects you from bugs or just looks aesthetically pleasing? They have one like that, but it's for an EMF. But I looked at it and it was like, I think $18,000, and then there was another one for 900. And I was like, oh, I'm too poor. Never mind.
Well, the idea used to be Faraday cages. So you'd build Faraday cages
Mhm.
you could sleep in that would prevent any signals of anything sending or receiving.
Yep.
You can build your own.
I want to.
I ordered material, it's EMF protected.
Mm-hmm.
And I just pin it on the wall around my bed.
Also,
yeah, I want to do it.
Is the EMF protection the same as the Faraday cages? Are there similarities, differences?
Yeah,
Are they
it's
one-to-one?
It's a copper laced material.
So I want to make a
Do it
proper
with
pyramid.
Jim had a whole channel on paint.
Yeah, so
you
the
can
pyramid shape would take up the least amount of surface space, so it would save the material cost.
There's probably the cheapest way to do it would be to buy the paint and paint your walls, or you can get metallic paints, and it doesn't even necessarily need to be grounded. Like you can get chicken wire and staple it to your walls, and essentially all the way around and on the ceiling, and then hook it to a ground, and pretty much 90% of the EMF fields would be perturbed enough so that you would probably not get a cell phone signal, or a radio wouldn't pick up radio stations in there.
Did Mel Gibson line his apartment in the movie Conspiracy Theory with metal, like a Faraday cage?
I love that movie.
I think it was as probably a dual role to keep the house, because he had everything set to booby trap so it would burn if anybody got onto
I think
it.
it was, he had
location.
10.
Yeah, it was like aluminum foil would do it as well.
Yeah,
and that would actually be kind of cool. I was
Did it
thinking
also function as a firewall, so only the inside of his apartment would burn down and not the entire building?
Yes.
Yeah. That movie was good.
What a clever man.
Also, Emma, if you
Mel
haven't
Gibson.
looked up Spiro Gear by Matt Landman, he makes EMF protection clothing and merchandise. like hats.
Yeah, I have a beanie, so when I go to raves, like when I'm trying to sleep in the middle of the night, I don't die because just like the music is still going on, and like
Yeah.
I'm usually like sober. Oh, I have like a couple of beers when I go. I'm not like everyone else who's doing anything they can get their hands on. I need to sleep so I can wake up,
Has anyone been to a public gathering or a festival or anything where there's a lot of people with cell phones and they're all uploading video and things? And how
Yep.
have you felt in that field of 5G upload, download all around you?
Okay, so
Uncomfortable.
yeah, so I had an experience where Chance and I went to a concert in Kansas City, and that was the first time my phone connected to 5G without asking me. And I took out my phone just to look at the time because the main act hadn't started yet. So I was like, oh, how much time till they start? And so I took out my phone for a moment just to look at the time, and in the little corner I saw it said connected to 5G. I was like, what?
Did you
the
feel
heck?
hot in your skin? I've been in 5G areas and
Yeah.
on the highway.
Yeah,
and I felt like I was at a sunburn, and I was like, "What's going on?" And my phone
5G sucks.
connected
So
to 5G.
bad.
it was really hot because it was at a venue where they don't like bags, so like I just had my pockets, so I had to put my phone in my pocket, and
That
I
sucks.
realized that my leg was really hot after that, like that area where the pocket is.
And it was more than the battery being heating?
More than just the battery heating.
Okay.
5G is awful. It's worse than what it was before. Like on my new phone, it doesn't give me an option to use LTE really. It sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, I'll turn my phone off and put it in the airplane mode, and I can enable Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi?
The Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Kitty.
Wi-Fi.
Pronounced Wi-Fi.
I was listening to a
Wi-Fi.
Mysterious Universe episode today where they was talking about how Facebook and Siri was both created by the military industrial complex, and then as soon as both programs went blacklisted, Facebook and Apple came out with Siri. Like a month, like
DARPA.
like a month after their programs that was doing the same exact thing.
They're like, we're gonna close this shit down. We don't need to do this anymore.
We know people are listening, and we want to entertain our handlers and FBIs and CIAs and Mossads and MI5s and MI6s and MI7s and MI8s.
They're already stuck doing this work.
I really do hope that they enjoy our content and just laugh when we mention them.
Always gonna glow.
So I hope Lil Wayne likes my reading of his song "Blowin'" from the Carter 4. I really think he like I said earlier, I really think he is the shadow for the music industry, especially when he says things like about being like behind your eyes and making all these analogies that are kind of comical in a way, but if you really think about them, and he even says, if time is money, I'm an hour past paid, and things like how he doesn't follow the script.
I think you should look up Mac Miller. I feel like that dude made more of a difference, and that's why they murked him. Like,
I like Mac Miller.
like that's the only rapper I generally care about. Everyone else, go fuck yourself. Don't even talk about rappers around me. Not in my car, especially. Like, nope. Like, get
on my watch.
Get out of here.
I must be really comfortable with you guys because I can't believe I'm just coming to terms with the fact that I actually freestyled some Lil Wayne on this stream. Oh my goodness!
I can't believe I read Lil
dwell
Wayne.
on that.
I
Do you have any Tupac Shakur?
I can't stand.
I started to try to
modern-
learn hit 'em up and play the bass at the same time, but I was overestimating my ability to perform two things at once.
I want to I have a friend that plays bass really, really well, and he's in a bunch of like reggae bands. I want him to hit up the bass player that was Mac Miller. I can't remember what his name was now. He was on that Tiny Desk concert. I can't. Thundercat. I think it was Thundercat.
My friend, he
Bass player's name.
remixed a Mac Miller song is really good, and also Nick of C3, Common Sense Cult. His music has a very Mac Miller vibe because he was really inspired by Mac Miller.
Yeah.
And Nick is awesome.
Mac Miller in high school in 2010 was huge. Like that was that's when I was like an actual stoner.
Like
that's
Kids and Blue Slide Park.
That was the thing. Besides, like I was like in the punk phase too. But at the same time, I was like, man, this kid's dope. And then over the years, how he like grew up with all of us, it seemed like he matured music wise. And and if you listen to his last two albums, it's like, damn, no wonder why they offed him. Like, holy crap, he was way too old.
So you think they actually killed him?
Yeah, if you see in his music videos and his lyrics, he explains step by step his death. And then in the videos, he's sitting on a bowl, I think, like bowl, and they sacrifice him to this. And in one of the videos in the coffin, he wrote was it Memento Mori? He does his last video.
He was inside of a coffin.
Yeah. Like he knows. He knew it.
He was also foreshadowing that all the way back from watching TV with the sound off. Because in those there was a lot of him talking about him dying.
Yeah.
And all these things.
Joining the 27 club.
Yeah.
Poor guy. The only rapper I ever cared about.
That's sad.
I was really into Lupe Fiasco back in the day because I really liked his his songs like State Run Radio.
We'll say goodnight to Martin now.
Good night, Martin.
Hey, thanks for coming, Martin. Love you, brother. Talk to you soon.
Good night.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
See you in the dream world, Martin.
See you in the mugwort.
Are we all meeting?
I'm gonna go see if I got some mugwort.
Let's meet at the obelisk.
At the obelisk for the big fight.
For the big fight.
Yeah, we're gonna take
Make
Gabe's ass
sure you're
down.
wearing a clean kimono.
We'll see who gets taken out this time. Slick.
Slick. We're coming for you, Slick. Shadow Slick.
That's right. Bizarro Gabe.
Yeah, Lupe Fiasco had a song called State Run Radio when he was literally saying become your own DJ, become your own station, and he was basically saying the government runs the radio, don't listen to the radio. And then once 2020 happened, he was like, oh yeah, get vaxxed, mask up. And I was like, dude, what?
Yeah,
I don't think I know any of his songs, to be honest. I'm trying to picture who he is, and I can't. Let me Google it.
Yeah, he seemed like he was somewhat I guess you could say a freedom fighter, but then after a while he just started making no sense.
He was telling everybody to mask up.
Yeah,
they take a political side.
No, most of them sold their souls a long time ago. They don't have a choice. They have to do what they're told.
True.
Like how Kid Cudi. Have you seen Kid Cudi? He's someone's bitch now, wearing dresses out in public. It's sad. I looked at the guy who is the fashion designer for him. That dude was a designer for Broadway when he was 15, 16 years old because he met the head designer for Broadway and somehow just became friends and got hired. That's not creepy. And then he got huge into fashion. And then he started taking photos, and I found his website where he was taking all these photos of people in Hawaii, and they were all naked people in the forest or girls, or what do you call it? Like hermaphrodites in the forest. So
High
you would see
fashion.
like
Oh.
everything. And then there'll be
Yeah.
kids in the background, like 10,
Yeah.
15 feet away, like the normal family on the beach. And then this dude's taking pictures of like the weirdest shit I've ever seen just on a
Every
website.
time.
And
Fucking
then this
every time.
literally every time.
How is that
and
even art at this point if it's been done
and the
so many
photos
times?
weren't edited. Like I looked at the photos, looked like just like a cell phone, not a nice Nikon camera. You can still see the kids'
Right.
faces, the parents, and it just got weird. And this guy's only, I think he's my age. He's only 26. And he's
Mhm.
like
Giving
a
up-
huge fashion designer for Kid Cudi, all these other rappers. And he
Giving
told
up
Kid
that
Cudi,
booty.
yup. And he told Kid Cudi, like, hey, will you marry me? That's like the text message they screenshotted. And Kid Cudi was like, oh, of course, sweetheart, blah, blah, blah. I'll go to the VMAs with you or whatever. And that's why Kid Cudi was wearing that dress for the humiliation ritual and all this other bullcrap. And I was
The
like,
time to like buck
oh,
breaking as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
On this topic, since we've talked about Lilo and Stitch
Mhm.
and
Yep.
before, and how Stitch is a hellier goblin and all these things.
Oh,
The
yeah.
art style
Truly,
of
huh?
the art
Let's
style
repeat
of
that
Chris
point
has some
again.
excellent
Yeah.
theories, man.
what?
You got some excellent
Let's make
theories,
this
Chris.
point clear again. Lilo and Stitch, the Disney movie.
Okay,
Which
let me do
is
my
Lilo
Lilo.
the alien or Stitch the alien?
Okay, let me do. I can do a
Stitch.
summary of my Lilo and Stitch week because I've broken down this movie a little
Mhm.
bit. So Lilo and Stitch, comes out in the early to mid 2000s, right?
Yep.
And it comes out with a new art style that's different from anything else Disney has made. Is because the artist that they hired, he created this art style. And who was this artist? He was the artist that made, let me see, erotica.
Shocking.
Interesting.
So that's why there's all those memes of like Nani and these characters being having a good physique. It's because that's how he designs them, so you notice those things.
Mhm.
They're drawn that way on purpose. But to point out the plot of the story, so it's this very familiar story of E.T. or the Iron Giant, but it's this blue creature that looks like a hellier goblin, right? Even
Yeah.
with his ears. And when they did the Lilo and Stitch takeover for the parks to promote the movie, they placed him everywhere around the park. And one of the places they placed his statue was on top of Space Mountain, where the hellier goblin found.
Interesting.
Mountains, right? And so and then Lilo translates to lost, and Stitch means stitch back together. So it's lost and stitched back together. The song from Lilo and Stitch translates to children of the lost, like lost children, like they're getting called to a mountain maybe to go play with a little blue goblin.
Lilo and Stitch is still really big. I see it everywhere in
And
stores.
it is, and you also have the go to the Elvis one right above it. There's the
I met
whole
the artist that does all the backgrounds, but he's a different artist than his name's James Coleman. He does, if you notice like all the trees and the pretty
the water
stuff,
painting.
it's all different art styles. It's totally different than the cartoony
Lost the Elvis one.
Yeah. So
This one maybe?
the Elvis one. So there's this whole subplot of Lilo trying to integrate Stitch back into human society. So she's trying to model his personality as Elvis and teach him how to be like the great Elvis, the perfect human being in her
By
eyes.
playing the Elvis records.
And So
Elvish.
so he
Elvish, that's good.
Elvish
so
Elvish.
he
records.
so they do all these rituals where she's to the point where they literally go to in the movie a bench, a park bench that said that Elvis would visit every time he was in Hawaii, which is where the movie set in. And they try to invoke the spirit of Elvis.
Okay, so here he is playing what looks like a flute, like a panpipe flute.
The
Yep.
Fae, the elves used to kidnap kids,
And play flutes.
play flutes,
Mhm.
take them up to the mountains.
No, the whole idea is to not follow
So-
the Fae out into the woods too. People get
So-
this wrong idea that like they're friendly, but if
Yeah.
you see a light in the woods, you're not supposed to follow it off the path
Yeah,
because then you
come back
end up in the fairy kingdom.
30 years
Oh.
later,
So
and
they're
you'll only
also
think that you've been gone for a year.
I
so
see,
they're
you
trying
know,
Eat a
so they're
handful
trying to connect.
of pomegranates and it's all over for you. You know.
I
Yeah,
seen
that
a
was
video
safer.
yesterday on Instagram where this guy was like, I think he was in the sea, like as a crab fisherman or something up in Alaska. And he kept hearing these like screams / like high pitched sounds in the ocean. And he videotaped it. I sent it to a couple of my friends. I can send it to you guys.
Yeah,
He's
we're
like,
down.
Yeah.
he's like, oh, no wonder why people
Yeah.
would jump overboard ships for this because it sounds like a woman like in distress.
Oh wow.
Like
And-
Yeah, send that.
I'll send it to you
Yes,
guys.
send
'Cause
it.
I sent it to my friend last night because me and him always like share weird stuff to each other like that. Like anything with the catacombs or anything like that. We're like, hey, look.
Yeah.
So so to tie a bow on the Elvis thing to Leo's that we was talking about how Elvis they was trying to bring him in through multiple generations, right? Lilo and Stitch was then trying to bring Elvis into my generation,
Mhm.
Right.
right? So that they're trying to renew that contract and mix it in with all this fake folky
Mind control.
mind control, Helio goblins, lost kids symbolism. And then again, like I said, the
That's
story of Lilo and Stitch is just them recycling E.T. and the Iron Giant. So the bare bones of it is nothing new.
SB, I'll send it to you.
Wow, yeah. And there
You
was
drop it
something
to my
about
Insta or what?
ET.
Yeah,
gift
it's on
wrapped on.
Instagram as like a reel or whatever they're called.
Okay,
Here's
I'll
my-
figure it out. Thank you very much for sending it.
No problem.
Here's my Steph Stitch I got at Disney World that I still have. It's the only stuffed animal I own still from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And even my Disney ears, my Mickey Mouse, Devil Mouse ears that I got when I was there as a kid, has Stitch on it. All my memorabilia from that time has
They're
Stitch on
gonna
it.
So here's
stitch your
the image.
eyes and your mouth shut, just like
There's
Freddy Krueger.
Spielberg with
Yeah.
E.T. and it almost looks like he's got his fingers wrapped around his neck, like he's
throttling that.
yeah. Mhm.
Hey, Jim, what was your Instagram again?
Jim's not on
Ja-
Instagram.
no,
I don't
I'm
know
on
if I'm logged
Instagram.
in.
Is it
I'm on
James
Instagram.
Maiden?
Can you
Yeah, I think
the
so.
Wax Boss Man?
No, it's not Wax Boss Man.
You can't get into that one or what?
I have a new one.
Is
that's
it
right, goat. Forgot,
something
sorry.
the
It's got goats.
23?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. I was like, which one? There's so many. Let's see.
I think these pictures of Steven Spielberg looking romantic with E.T. the Extraterrestrial are more creepy than anything on Hellier. That
And
I've
the
ever
other
seen.
one is Shaggy, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Also, I love that you found me on Instagram out of the blue. That's awesome.
I'm the mastermind at Instagram. Like I could be a
Mhm.
Fed and get paid for this. Like I would
She
be
admitted
so
it. Don't
good.
forget, you guys. She just admitted it.
No, I could
I know. I'm just joking.
I
Hashtag
could do it. I
Illuminati
wish
I
and
hope
get
they
paid
pay
for
you
it.
well. Yeah, be great.
Yeah.
It'd be great if we had
uh,
a Fed on our side. Then we could get some inside information and
I do have one on my side. He lives in Washington. I know I met him on Halo 3 when I was like 10. And he
Mhm.
and he ended up becoming a Fed, and now he's just like, yeah, this shit sucks.
I
I was
shouldn't
like,
become a
shit.
yeah,
Fed. Yeah.
no shit.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
funny
that's-
because he had a heart
good.
attack in Germany last year because of the shot, and they sent him back. No, he was in Poland when it happened. Then they
Hello?
sent him to Germany for 3
Shot to the
months.
heart and you're still vain.
And then
You
he
give
came back,
love.
and now he's on light duty in the office, and he's so bored. And now he's on my side. Now he sends me Pepe memes all day. It's funny. I got him to switch.
That's funny. I love how Alan is singing Bon Jehovah.
You don't have to carry it. Don't worry about it.
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jehovah.
Not too late.
Okay, I sent it to you guys. So let me know if you got it. I sent it to you,
We got home
Alan.
like an hour late.
You send it to me.
Yeah,
I'm-
it's the siren one where the guy hears like the siren in the ocean, and he's like, "Oh, like no wonder."
Where do you go? Where do you get your
Click the top right corner button. The one it looks like a weird lightning bolt sideways.
Mhm.
Click on that, and then you'll see my name, Heathen Junglist, and then click.
Which I love because I love jungle music, so
Yeah, I got it tattooed on me for a reason.
I
also
always
I,
mistake
I,
it for Heathen Youngest.
Youngest.
I also like the fact that you're taking back the word heathen because it's been so tainted
Yeah, I
over the
don't.
years.
Yeah, I've had a couple people like call me out on it a few times. I'm like, dude, you can't like bother me with that. Okay. And then no one really cares. Like my friend group, like they don't care. As long as you're there for the music and you also love the music and you're not a thought, then you're welcome to the group.
And you're
As
not
long as
Yeah,
you're
okay,
as
this
long
is-
as you're a DMB head, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're talking Sauce 90. Sauce 90.
Sauce.
Yeah. He's been through so many accounts on TikTok.
Oh,
And I was following him for a while, and then his accounts would get erased, and then you make a
On
new one.
TikTok. I don't have
Yeah.
one. I never made one. I'm terrified of it.
The smartest thing TikTok ever did was make the option available for people to download the videos to then reshare them everywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
So even if your stuff gets deleted eventually, 100 people have already saved it and uploaded it.
That's cool. I didn't know they did that. Go China.
That's the one thing I don't like about Instagram is because like Alan sends me funny things and we send each other funny things back and forth, and I have to screenshot it or screen record it.
That's
and
what I do.
crop and crop out the little hearts.
I download all this stuff.
I'm just like,
You don't have to screen grab it.
how do you download it? I would like to know how to download it so I can get. Send me how to.
Oh, you playing it?
Someone was playing it, but maybe not sharing it. Were they doing a Gordy share where they're pointing their camera at the webcam?
James is pulling a Gordy.
I've got it here in my movies.
yeah, that's insane. Thank you.
That needs to be on someone's bingo card, pulling a Gordy. Someone pulled.
Well,
Gordy.
thank you for reminding us. We are doing a bingo thing for Saturday, and if you make a bingo
Aw.
board and enter your bingo board, you will be entered into a drawing. So you don't even have to play the board; you just have to make one, a 5x5 grid. Make those 25 squares. Put an idea, a word, a thought, a phrase, a number, an image, something in each 25 squares. Share that on a place where it's timestamped, and then tag us, forward it, use a hashtag, let us know. And then
Also,
we'll do
if
a
you
drawing.
can
You might
guess,
win something very cool.
Also,
Prizes.
Also, if
Right.
anyone can guess any footage I put in the intro for Saturday, that's what you can guess as well. If you can psychically guess what I'm going to grab and throw in there,
Ooh.
An
that would be
octopus.
cool.
Is that you, Jim? Jim was right up on the
Yes,
mic.
it's me.
ASMR Jim.
I'm
Yes,
very excited to guess things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited to be excited for you to guess.
It's super exciting when you guys let me guess stuff and use my psychic brain horns. all the time. I love that.
When's the next time we're doing a remote psychic experiment?
Yeah, when's the next viewing? When's the
I
next
think I
remote
missed that
viewing?
one.
I'm really down to do another one. We were gonna do another one. We spoke about doing it, and Gordon wanted to host it, but then it wasn't a good day in his neck of the woods, and so it got canceled. But
behind the scenes, we are working on methods to make it easier for all of us to do quicker sessions under an hour. If we can get it down to like 30 minutes, that would probably be.
What might be
good for
fun
everyone.
is if we could do a group meditation and
Mhm.
That'd be
breathing
cool.
I like
sort of
that
thing
idea.
at the beginning, and then do a remote viewing, and then reconvene after everyone sends their guesses into one place, and we kind of go over that. That would be fun.
That'd be a cool
Are you-
science experiment.
We probably
you
just
on
need 2 or
Telegram,
3
Emma, or
people
not?
to do this.
What
What's
happened?
that?
Are you on Telegram or not?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I just remember
I'm
if I
on
saw you on there.
so many groups on Telegram. It's hard to
Mhm.
keep up. 'Cause every time I
Chapter
go
the
on there,
heart.
it's insane.
Yeah, so we
Emma,
just need
I
to,
have a
we
music.
just need to hit you up directly on there if we need you to like go find you on the Telegram and be like, hey, over here.
Yeah, I'm on there. I could which one? You guys always use the
Spiders
Spider's
welcome.
Welcome Web and then
Yeah,
Mystic
that's the main chat.
Inheritance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Spider web
this-
emoji, Spitter's welcome web, spider web emoji.
Yes.
This is what my phone calls it.
Also, Emma,
Okay.
I have if you do want to join another group, I do have a music group called Fool's Bar Tavern and a channel called Fool's Bar Radio where I
Ooh.
broadcast every new moon. I do a pirate radio host and I
Oh,
share
nice.
music.
I just did a
And-
mix the other day for Rachel because she would ask like, "Hey, do you DJ, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, kind of." And she's like, "Oh, well,
Mhm.
upload your mixes." And I finally did one, but I only made it
Nice.
private on SoundCloud because I don't like it. And I was like, "Only you can have this," and like 2 other people.
Mhm.
And
That's the
but
start.
I
That's the
share
beginning of the whole process right there.
I share a lot of music, but
That's-
I also share a lot of DMB because
Yeah,
that's
I'm just
my true passion.
so OCD about mixing. Like any transition, if I hear anything and it's like not the way my robot ears like, I won't
Mhm.
upload it. I won't like. I'll be at a rave, total good mood. But if I hear the DJ slightly mess up, or if I hear a hi hat out of place or anything, I like my eye twitches. I look over at my
I'm the
friend.
same way. That's why I only share my mixes to Chance's art group.
Yeah, like I've only
Okay.
sent to like 3 of my friends, and I was like, "All right, tell me how bad it is. Get back to me." That's it. But I'll try and upload more. It's just
You got to remember, if you're already feeling that picky, that means that your mixes are already like 1,000 times better than all the shitty DJs on earth. So you
Oh,
should
for
just be
sure.
proud
I
already
have
of your work.
so many friends that like are proud of their mixes. Now I hear it, I'm like, yeah, it's good. Yeah. And they're like,
yeah,
that
it's
dude.
great.
Sauce
Wink,
90
wink.
video
I
ready
could
to
never
go.
listen to this.
Yeah, like
Are you
I have
guys
a
ready
couple
to listen to
friends that are
this?
getting pretty big.
I'm
and,
ready.
Yeah, it's okay.
This is the Sauce 90
Oh, you're
video.
playing it? Hey.
Yeah, are you seeing it here?
I'm gonna turn my headphones down because it's gonna be high pitch. Warning.
Okay, yeah, it might be loud. I've got the volume turned down. We'll give it a play.
My first encounter.
Oh, you can't hear it.
Yeah, there are no audios.
Yeah, there's no audio playing
No
on it.
audio from it.
No.
No audio.
Let me try that again.
No audio.
Adios mío.
Adios
Dios,
míos.
Dios. My audios.
Hashtag Dora was a psyop.
Output USB. Output USB.
Hashtag Dora.
Dora.
You know, get that hashtag going, please. I want that to be a popular hashtag.
Yeah, Dora was a psyop. I have a famous idea that I pass around about Dora. Maybe I can squeeze it in while Alan's solving the audio problem. But oh, there we go. Now I'm hearing audio. I'll tell you after this.
Never before seen footage of my first encounter with a mermaid or siren. This guy is Sauce 90. Is he West Coast? Is he up in like Seattle, Portland?
I'm assuming somewhere decently cold. That's all I'm guessing.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a few months since I've seen this video, so this is not a new video, not recent from the last few days. It's been
Just
been
because I'm never
saved
on the
and
TikTok
shared.
hype. I'm always like late on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
So,
that's
No,
a
okay.
thank
good
you,
thing.
China.
The
Stay
one
away.
thing I would like to see TikTok add is the date when the video. So you see here where it says Sauce
Oh.
90 TikTok, there's a little watermark here. If they
Mhm.
would include the date, the year, the month, the day
That
that
would
it
be
was first
nice.
uploaded, that would help us out.
I still do not hear it.
Yeah, it sounded like we had it to start there, and then it died or went away.
I'm a mute mine. Maybe that's what it is. Just in case. Mute.
I'm moot. It's a mute point.
Are you not hearing the audio?
Uh-uh.
Okay, so I'll just reenact the audio. It just sounds like high pitched screeching is what it is.
Heard it. I hear it.
Not sure why it's not sharing the audio.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard something there for a
It
second.
plays for like not even a second, and it stops.
Okay, it could be Zoom wanting to not play high pitched screech. It's probably a Zoom correcting the audio thing because it is just high sound frequencies, feedback. It's the type of stuff Zoom is probably
Yeah, it might be a
filtering out.
yeah, there might be a high pass filter on Zoom.
But anyway, this guy is hearing this high pitched screeching sound. Sounds like a wailing or like a lament. It's high pitched. And this guy was getting some good views on his videos, and then they'd keep taking the channel down.
I
And I
wonder
don't quite know
why.
why. Bit of a mystery.
Zoom doesn't like high pitched sounds. Are you talking about the Tim Allen movie Zoom, where he flies a UFO?
Never seen it.
No, I'm not talking about that, but I could be talking about that after I watch it. If you find me a copy,
I think it
on
was
VHS,
Sean's
and send
tool.
it to the PO box. I'll watch it on VHS.
We're tapping and it cut off your audio because I heard a little bit of the TikTok, and then I heard Sean's clay tools.
Oh, here, let me mute again. Here.
All that I could hear. So
If
it might
you all mute yourself, I could play the
Awesome.
audio, but again, it's just high pitched screeching. It's like
Yeah.
it's the
Do
type
we
of thing
want
that's
to
gonna
listen
wake
to
people
high
up.
pitched screeching?
now we got to hear it.
We've got some people falling asleep. I'll try it once more. Try it once more. Thumbs up if you hear it. Are you hearing any feedback through the headphones?
I heard your feedback.
It literally
That's what it
mutes
sounds
the
like.
screeching.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
the screech for
I
just a
think
second.
the
It might have
Zoom stops it.
been-
Mhm.
Yeah. Did you have a chance to do the Zoom update?
Oh, I'll share it to Telegram then. No big deal. Just upload it to
Kinda like-
Telegram.
I mean, kind of good thing for Zoom because the
right.
screeching thing I hate. So at least it
Yes.
Yeah, they're probably doing a lot of work really trying to get perfect automatic sound editing on the little platform here. So kudos to Zoom for trying their best, this is.
Yeah, YouTube, you still suck.
Well, we know what you want, YouTube. You want us to sign up every month, give you $10 or whatever it is, and the answer is no. So you can listen in and
I
stop
did it.
fucking asking.
I did
How is
it.
it? Is it any better? Is it worth
Yes,
it?
a million times better. I'll give you my password so you can just log on.
Nah.
I don't care. Like, just use it. But because I go to sleep with like rain sounds all the time or like fireplace sounds. 'Cause I'm so used to like hearing that growing up. And Yeah, and sometimes you would wake up and it'll be a commercial about nothing. The volume is 10 times higher than what you put. So I got
Of
over
course,
it.
that's the tradition with commercials is to do that.
Yeah, and I'm tired of
Can't
that.
think with commercials.
I just want to
nailed
sleep.
They've nailed the tone.
Commercials,
So that you
commercials are
can't
here to
actually think
assault
when you're
you,
doing
especially
anything.
especially commercials like PETA makes.
Oh,
An assault.
remember the Sarah Mc whatever one growing up about the animals? And it was so
PETA.
Sarah
sad.
McLaughlin.
Yeah.
PETA is an
I wonder how
acronym
many
for
people shot themselves because they saw that commercial.
PETA, an acronym for pain in the ass.
So really quick, this is the movie. It's really bad. Do not watch this movie. I hate
It
Tim
looks
Allen,
awful. I'm good.
but this was what I was referencing with Tim Allen driving a UFO within a movie named Zoom.
He goes through a drive-through.
Zoom
It's-
Academy for Superheroes.
It was at least a UFO looks kind of cool.
Love UFOs.
It is a movie, a family-friendly superhero movie about Tim Allen
superhero.
raising
Looks like it's
kids.
available
In
on
the arms of
PornTube
the-
Alon.
On PornTube? Is that what you said?
PornTube-Alon.
Alon. So, Elon Musk.
I love Google. Google is just the best search engine in the world. They have 20 years of searches down, and they understand exactly what we want to see, which includes their Blogspot blogs, porntube-alonalon.blogspot.com for Zoom 2006. That is what we want in a top search result. Thank you.
Steven Spielberg choking ET is also available on PornTube. Alon.
And it's fun for all ages. Super powered. I can't read the rest, but you
Am I
get
gonna
it. Don't
be
don't watch.
aged a few years if I watch that movie?
Don't. No, you probably
lose years
get-
of my life by watching Tim Allen movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate Tim Allen so much.
Well, it's 2006. It might be
You guys
available
see
on
the clip
VHS.
where Norm Macdonald calls him out about going to prison for cocaine, and he's making jokes about calling him Candyman.
Whoa. Tim Allen?
You guys
Wait,
gotta
Tim
watch
Allen went
it.
to jail for it?
Yeah, Tim Allen did time in
yes,
prison
I have-
for being a cocaine dealer.
He made it through jail by
I have
being
Tim
funny.
Allen's books.
That's how
I
he became
have
a
Tim
comedian.
Allen's books. He's written 3 or 4 books
I hate Tim Allen as
About
as
what?
much as Jim
about his
hates
life.
Ben
Okay.
Franklin.
Tim
Fuck
Allen is a
you,
big
Tim
guy.
Allen.
So
He's written his
much.
autobiography books, and he shares a story about how he went to jail for cocaine, and he just tells it all as it is, and people love him, and now he's Santa Claus.
I hate
I mean,
his
gotta
Santa
hang out
Claus
with that
movie.
snow.
I have a memory of leaving
What's that
Sunday
home
school.
improvement sound?
I can't remember.
Don't do it.
Emma is expressing a preference for snowy weather, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So I have this vivid memory of leaving Sunday school in Texas while visiting my family, and they said to my family, "Oh, you had a good day at Sunday school. Let's decompress by taking you to go see the Santa Claus 3 Escape Clause." So I'm Tim Allen.
I'm
It was
good.
horrendous.
I'm good.
Escape clause. I'm sorry, Chris.
I hate Tim Allen so much.
That's
Well,
how
I
I
can
feel about
understand
some
why.
actors. I can't remember which ones right now, but some of them I just can't even look at.
I hate Home Improvement. Last Man Standing was horrible.
I think any TV show like that growing up, I absolutely hated. Like Full House, anything with
Full-
laughing tracks in the background, I would
Yeah,
just
that's
go
a clue that
outside.
it's crazy if there's laugh tracks. That's a clue that there's insanity involved.
Yeah,
I'm
just
not-
like schizophrenic, dumb people, NPCs watching it. I can't.
I'm not gonna lie. I like the fact that the original Scooby-Doo episode or the original Scooby-Doo series had a laughing track in it.
And that's a little different. Original
Yeah, 'cause
Scooby-Doo is a little
that was
different.
funny because it's animated. It doesn't have a
I
live
never
audience.
really liked Scooby Doo growing
Oh,
up.
Right, no, it makes sense that Scooby-Doo would have an animated laugh track, kind of, But
yeah.
I don't know. Laugh tracks in general, they're pretty
Yeah,
nutty.
I agree though.
I hate them. Like I used to live with like some of my mom's friends growing up every now and then, and they were so into Disney Channel, and they were like 5-10 years older than me. And I was like, hey, we're not 4. We don't need to be watching Disney Channel stuff like or
But
Full
it's
House
cute.
or no, dude, they were so weird. And
But
they
it's
still grew up weird. And my mom is like, thank you for being normal. And like, well, she kind of knows, but she was like, thank you for not being like them, because one was trying to become a rapper, one of them just never like went to all this college stuff, spent like $300,000 on school, and the only job she's ever had was just being a barista, and she'll stay that way till she dies. And the other one is trying to become an Instagram influencer, and
Scary.
they're all 10 and 5 years older than me, and it's not looking well. And their mom is definitely sad about it.
Yeah, that sucks.
So after the last stream we did, we was talking, Gabe made an episode of Scooby-Doo resurface in my mind, and it connected to what we was talking about with them using treating human bodies for things like gold, because there was an episode of the
Dead
Scooby-Doo
bodies?
show.
Oh yeah.
There's an episode of the Scooby-Doo show where they go, it's called the Harem Scarum in the Sanitarium, where they go to a sanitarium and they think it's haunted, and they see an ambulance unloading and loading dead bodies, so they follow it across the Canadian border, and they find out that it's a cover-up because those dead bodies they thought are actually gold that they disguise as dead bodies to get sneak across the border.
So it's like the smuggling heroin in the bodies of the soldiers.
Yeah. And there's also the same frequency because they have black guard dogs, and there's this laboratory on top where the mad scientist lives, the ghost, and this roof opens up and has this instrument to capture the moonlight to do this weird ritual. And like I said, there's harmonics for these black dogs, and they control Scooby's mind for a little bit. This one episode, they're like revealing to you so much, and it all tied into what Gabe was saying after we ended the stream last time, and it was insane.
Trippy.
I think the only good show that's kind of like that, I feel like, is Love, Death, Robots. They have a couple episodes like Scooby-Doo. I think one episode, and I think they just blew it out of the park. I can't wait for the new season.
What is it called?
Death, Robots?
Yeah, you guys ever seen it?
No.
Never seen it.
For the love of everything on this planet, I'll put my life on that show. I love Death Robots. So each episode is done differently. So like one will be like a live action, one will be animated, one will be like painted or like watercolor, and each one has a different like storyline to it, and it's insane. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's just, please go watch it.
Also,
I think there's 2 seasons right
Where is
now.
it available?
It's on Netflix. On everything I love. Please go watch that. It's
We'll have to
insane.
check it out. We trust your opinion.
It's so good.
You already cemented your reputation with me by saying that like you went and watched every episode of Picture Show more than once or something. So
Oh yeah, I think I probably know them all by heart at this point.
That's crazy. That cracks me up.
Yeah, I remember the first couple of times I heard it and I heard Jim's laugh, and I was like, all right, this show's cool already. Let's go.
There needs to be a whole show just Jim's laugh.
Yeah, because
I've always meant to go through Picture Show and edit out every single clip of Jim's laugh. I just haven't. I'm just lazy.
Why? That's what makes it, dude.
No, put it all. I want to edit them all out together into one long laugh.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Terrible.
Not edit it out.
That would actually be
that would be like adding a laugh track to Picture Show. Now we could really make people freak out. We could go add a laugh track to Picture Show.
With that, like you're sleeping and that's all you hear.
But only do it after
That's
things that
funny.
aren't funny and are super
Yeah, yeah.
Or it's
serious.
like you
Wait
know
till
how when
Tracy
it's
says the worst thing anyone's ever heard, and then add in the laugh track from what do you call
Love
Seinfeld.
Death Robots. Is that what it's
yeah,
called?
Love, Death, Robots. So each episode's different. Like there's one where it's like in the future and there's these 3 robots that are trying to figure out what happened and what is a basketball. Like it's funny. And then there's some I don't know, it's insane. Like there's one where it's kind of like Fight Club, but it's with 2 monsters and humans are controlling the monsters. Like they could put their consciousness into the monster and it's
That
like
works.
insane. And like the level of like details and the graphics that they did, the money they spent to make this is insane.
It kind of what you're talking
And
about
where'd
kind
you
of
say it's
reminds
on
me.
Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
What you're talking about kind of reminds me of this show. It only
Like
lasts
animated, or there's
It's
all kinds of different stuff.
each one's different. Some's animated,
Wow, that's
watercolor, live action, and some it's with the new engine 5 or 5 engine where it's like
Right, the AI.
yeah, and it's insane.
Hey,
What you're
I
ta-
made it.
what you're talking about reminds me of the show from the early 2000s called Delta State.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's all rotoscoped. It's a Canadian show. It only lasts 1 season, but it's about these roommates who are amnesiacs, but they're all psychic. One can read minds. One can see the memory from object they touch, and they all have
Psychokinesis.
yes, psychokinesis, all those, but they are facing off against these things called rifters, which are entities that come from a different dimension that can't last in our dimension. They need our bodies. So they go into the delta state, which is the dimension that they're from, that they're trying to escape into our dimension to get into our dimension. And so
Delta state, like the Delta brain state.
Yeah, and that's how they get
Delta.
there. They get there through sleep. It's them leaving their bodies, going into the delta state, and facing these entities before they can come into our dimension.
A lot of sleep stuff going on.
You know
And
what?
it's really cool. It's really because it really shows you like what's going on. That it's all about us.
Yeah, you know what this reminds me of? Like talking about Love, Death, Robots. It kind of reminds me of this kid show on HBO that I would watch every now and then called Crash Box. Do any of you ever heard of that?
Yeah, it sounds vaguely familiar. I don't think
I
I
know you might know it because it's all
Box?
clay. It's all clay, and the way they made it was like really trippy and like
Yeah, it sounds so familiar.
I don't know
Crashbox.
how. Yeah, Crash Box on HBO. It's like an old kid show in 1999. There was 2 seasons.
Yeah, that sounds really familiar.
Yeah, I used to watch it all the time because it was really weird and just kind of creepy. I know you should do that though with all your clay stuff, like your people. You
Oh,
should
that'd
make
be
like
so
a little
fun.
show, just like Crash Box,
Great idea.
because each
Sean,
one was like a
we-
class
it.
or a lesson.
Yeah, me and SB definitely need to collaborate, or any of us. But I would love to collaborate with SB and help him if he needed help in any way to do stop motion.
Yeah,
'Cause
it would
I've
be
done
stop motion like that.
before, and it's tedious, but it's really fun, and I would be
If we
down to
did
put
short,
in
if we
the
did
time.
shorts, it would be worth it. I mean, obviously, we're not going to make fucking what do
Motion
you
is
call
cool.
Yeah, we're not going to make
scissors. Aren't these the
Coraline.
coolest thing ever? Look at those scissors.
Nice
Well-
scissors. Lefties too, huh?
Lefties.
Freak. You freak.
I think they go. I think they go either way. No, maybe they are. No, they go either way. Somebody designed them either way.
Is that
Oh.
a thing? Left-hand scissors?
Yes,
Left-hand
left-handed scissors
scissors.
is the thing.
Wouldn't you just
Yeah.
hold it
For
in the
those
other?
freaks.
Well, it used to be
The
that. It
spawn of
used to be that,
Satan.
used to be that didn't work. You couldn't just hold them the other way.
Yeah, they
Weird.
made them just for righties.
Yeah.
Well, if
Can-
it's right, it's right.
Hey now,
Right.
Can
Watch your
the
sassy little mouth in here.
can the Insynchronicities sing ba ba ba?
The insynchronicities. I forgot about the
Yeah. See, we could claymate the thing, and then I could produce the track so that it's little sheeps or whatever we want it to be, and they sing "Baby Ba Ba Ba." I'm triple vaxxed and I love it so much, baby. Ba ba ba.
I don't know if you guys noticed the song I put to that picture when I posted it to my Instagram story for the people that are on Instagram. But I used the NSYNC song Space Cowboy Yippee Ki Yay.
Motherfucker.
What the whole song is about Y2K and how space
How it should have happened. It would have been nice if it
and
did.
how space is our safe haven from the world ending on Y2K, and it
That's really
featured
funny.
Left Eye from TLC before she died, and they were all like, "It's the prophecy. We gotta go to space or we'll die." It was a boy band singing about
Wishing Y2K was real vibes is pretty good. I'm down with that.
I mean, it should have been. I mean, we'll be in a better spot, maybe.
Yeah, if the internet would have failed in 2000 and they had to
Yeah.
reboot from scratch.
Yeah.
They needed the internet for their next phase though, so that wouldn't
Oh
happen.
yeah, that's all staged up. It's all part of the
Maybe
plan.
that's what really happened, and we lost 1,000 years because 1,000 years ago, instead of going on to the year 2000, they had to turn the computers back to the year 1900, and then everything else is cyclical, like fashion and
Yeah, maybe in that version of events we would have all met, but we all would have met in person.
Yeah, that would be nice.
with horse
Start
and
an enclave.
And they knew the spiders would be so strong that they devised the internet. Just
Yeah, they
to
had to
stop
cancel.
us.
They had to cancel history because of us.
Yeah, we're the ones.
Well, that's where
We're the
RX
guys.
only comes from. RX only comes from my band, RX Only, the Panacea. And the theory behind the Panacea was that me and the other two guys in the band, and Jim's the keyboard player now, even though we haven't ever played as a group yet, but we're going to get there. That's how Jim got into this whole thing, is I told everybody in the band, even though we hadn't played for 7 years, like, I got a keyboard player, he's my friend, I'm working for him. But the theory was, and I came up with it, like this whole Gnostic cosmology came to me before I ever studied any of this stuff. But the idea was that me and the other two members of the band we existed before the dawn of time. And so that's where we were. That's why our music was so good, because
Before the
we
year
were
2000.
before the dawn of time altogether. So
Before the year 2000.
it was before the year 2000.
Are you a Y2K complainer?
And I'm Y2K advocate. But yeah, we were playing. It was really great to play our music then, because we were only in one place and there was no time, so the music was really good. But then all of the greatest musicians of all time invented time machines, and they traveled back as close to the dawn of time as they could possibly get, so they could rip us off. So Frank Zappa, John Frusciante is the best example of someone who ripped us off. He's the one that flew closest. George Harrison, not into the other Beatles, but George Harrison got pretty close to the dawn of time and heard a lot of what we were doing. But yeah,
I honestly could believe that, because like I've said, there's been multiple times where I've started to write something or think about something, and then Hollywood is like, "Oh yeah, we're making this movie or TV show."
Yeah,
you can
And
make
it's
your
like-
iPhone Y2K complaint by purchasing
funny.
the Y2K complaint
Y2K compatible
iPhone case.
That's actually pretty funny.
The
what about
irony is
Y3K? We should
awesome.
start getting ready for Y3K.
Oh yeah, we need to make Y3K stuff. Also, in the last intro for last Saturday, the countdown at the ending with the ball was the 2000 Times Square drop, but in reverse.
Yeah, so this is our Redbubble update, and I wanted to make it clear to people that if they do buy something from the Redbubble store, to include a sticker, because the stickers are super cheap.
Oh,
So if you
you
buy
guys
something,
should see the sticker I got the other day from my friend. He's trying to do like a workout company.
mhm.
And I got the sticker and I think you guys will think it's funny. Let me find it. I think I might put it on my car, but I also might get in trouble for it.
We do have Weaving Spiders Welcome stickers, and they are really cheap, really cheap.
Let
So
me
if you're buying a hoodie or a t-shirt or something, be sure to include a sticker
where
or
is
2 or
his-
3,
Where's his name
because we're trying to test the time it takes for people to place an order and receive their order. So in the
Mhm.
time you're waiting, you want to make sure you put everything in your order together so you get that order.
Okay, I have it. Hold on, let me make the picture bigger. It says return Uncle Ted. I don't know if you can see it. Can you
Oh,
see
you're
it?
doing the
Turn
Goldie
Uncle
thing again.
Ted.
Yeah.
We'll
Can
have
you
to go
see
full
it?
screen with you.
Okay.
It's Paul Gordy. Oh yeah, let me do that. Hold up.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Eh.
Spotlight. Whoa. $4 for a barn size sticker.
Yeah, it's Ted. Ted, because it like remember
Oh, fucking Teddy Z, Teddy K.
Uncle
my-
Ted.
The Unabomber is my co-pilot.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna put that in my car. And I was like, wait, no.
I'm still working on the Unabomber sheet set.
Ooh.
Because that way you can sleep with Teddy every night. His head on your pillow. Wouldn't that be
Aw.
amazing? Keep me warm, Ted Kaczynski, with your
Hold on.
beautiful
Put
beard.
your head on my shoulder and read me manifesto.
Oh, that's good.
I gotta show you my my zipper is Y2K compatible.
Ooh.
I don't believe you. Show us how it works.
Oh my god.
Take a look. Right there. It's stamped right on the zipper. It's Y2K compatible.
I
Most
would
zippers
make
are.
that as many times as possible. Like clone that zipper and put it on everything.
Every zipper I look at is Y2K compatible. I mean, it's like the biggest zipper company in the world got their shit together for Y2K.
Maybe that's the real cover up of Y2K. That was all a psyop made by the zipper
Zippers.
company.
By
surprise
the zipper company.
Zippers.
Once you realize everything is a psyop and the psyops are psyops, life is slightly more
Isn't
better.
it better?
There's a
It's so much better
psyop.
once you realize it.
The
Hey.
world is a college of corporations.
What's that
That's all
from,
you got to
Alan?
know.
What
College
does
of Corporations.
what do you call a psyop in Canada? A psy oh
Wait, say it again.
On that note, I'm getting off. Good night.
She's dead. She says I'm out.
I'm done.
I put my dunce hat on, and Emma says goodnight
Oh, wait, where? Oh my god.
on my
Why
head.
is my thing full screen? Get me off. I don't know how to
Oh,
do
you're
it.
still on Spotlight. Sorry.
I don't want to. I don't want to be.
Jim put me on spotlight.
Do
I made a
the,
hat for the show.
it's perfect.
Spotlight the man.
Can we
Dun
have-
dun dun. I
In
mean,
some
wizard.
in some cultures, we call it a birthday hat.
or is it a
So-
dunce?
Yeah.
It's the British
Dunce.
Christmas hat.
We
Did
should
we
have
want
a.
to sing happy birthday to Rachel now or later or never?
I mean, she's probably
Yeah,
in
we
bed
should.
right now, but we can sing her happy
Right.
birthday in her
Rachel.
sleep.
We'll timestamp it so she can see it later.
Yeah.
It's about 3 hours into the show.
I was kidding. I'm not getting off, guys. That was a joke.
Into the thing.
It's 3:28.
You're not
Three.
bailing on this?
No, that was a joke.
Okay,
That was a
But on-
hilarious
On the
joke.
inside, I wanted to. We should have a tinfoil hat night and watch the movie Signs.
Oh, and make tinfoil hats?
I have
Yeah.
the movie.
That's
I
a
got
great
it.
idea.
I've been
have
waiting.
tinfoil.
I've been waiting for someone to say
Yes.
that. I've been
Yes.
waiting
Yes.
for someone to want to watch Signs with me, and I have
The
it
only
right
movie
here.
that actually traumatized me. So
Which
yeah,
one?
yeah,
Sign
the
with no
signs.
movie?
and
Like I
What
watched
movie?
the
M.
signs.
Night
Big Eyes.
Yeah, Signs is fucking horrible.
I
the
love
writer
that
director of
movie.
The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable.
I love that movie, but that's the only one that traumatized me. Like I used to watch
Same.
Starship Troopers on
Yeah.
repeat, and that was fine, but not
Yeah.
Signs.
Good
This
eyes.
movie is terrifying.
Like I could watch other ones with aliens eating people's brains and getting ripped apart, but Signs was like, nope.
They did a good
Nope.
job of making it realistic. I only watched it once, and I didn't ever want to see it again for
Yeah.
that
Yep.
very reason.
I
was fucking
paused it
creepy.
at
Mel
the moment
Gibson.
where you first see what it is at a birthday party, and I accidentally paused it,
On
and
that
it was
part,
there.
Did you get to see it?
Yes,
on
yes.
that
It's
part.
it's like 2 frames of it, and I paused
So-
it, not knowing it was there. 'Cause I
Nice
was like, I
move.
need to go to the bathroom. I paused it, and I saw it. I freaked out. My brother freaked out. He started screaming like, "Get it off the screen!"
Your poor brother.
You're wrecking the movie for us.
I did not do that on purpose.
And that's
I
the
did
first
not.
time you saw it?
Yes.
Oh,
And I
Bum
was
luck.
like, I got to go to the
Just really
bathroom. 'cause I
bad
was
luck.
drinking a lot of soda or water or whatever it was. I
Probably
space bar to pause the movie.
water.
And you know what's more disturbing? The thing I saw in my dad's cabin looked like the one in that. Same
Mhm.
skin, same face,
Yeah.
fingers, everything.
Yes.
And it was 5
it-
inches from my face.
In the woods?
No, it was in my dad's cabin next to my bed.
In
Yeah,
Now, was
like
that before or after the movie?
no, I'm talking about like in real life. This is what
I
happened.
know,
like,
but did it
oh,
happen to you before or after you watched the movie the first time?
Oh, I saw
Really?
the movie the first time I was like what 8, 9, and this
yeah.
happened.
So I
at
wonder
my-
if your brain actually manifested that thing into reality.
I
not
don't think so.
manifested it
There's
as-
security cameras with the lights going off.
How did you
there's, like,
feel? Terrified?
Well, if you want me to explain the
Terrifying?
story, I can.
Yeah, please do.
Mhm. From the
Mooding.
beginning, from the
Okay.
very beginning.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
This
if it's not
is.
too scary, it's kind of late. You don't have to do it if it's gonna fuck up your whole night, man.
Oh
You can
no,
wait
it's
till some
not.
other
Like
day.
I think it's kind of funny now that this actually happened to me, and then I think I pissed them off, and now they won't deal with me. So I think it's
That's
kind of funny
funny.
at this point.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
So
The aliens are like, not that bitch. Anyone else? Let's just give up on that.
yeah, I think like at first, like, oh, okay, cool. Let's, she's one of us. Let's help her out. And then like what happened? They're like, no, fuck this bitch. Never mind. It's
Yeah,
like
we out.
your ticket's
out, fool.
rejected on our ship.
That's right. We
So
out.
what happened was my dad bought this property out in the middle of nowhere in the desert, right by Big Bear. And I was telling people in the comment section, it's right next to a ley line, probably like 10 minutes away. And this place is called the Integratron. The Integratron was built in the 40s, I believe. It took 14 years to build. The guy that built it lived under the world's biggest boulder, which is
What's
also
Integratron?
it's it's this building this guy built. So the guy that lived under this giant boulder, the world's biggest boulder, I guess, in the middle of nowhere, he made a house underneath it. And he had a dream that these aliens gave him a blueprint. And it took him 14 years to build the circular building on a ley line. And on the
Whoa.
building too, it goes down 200 or 300 feet. So when you stand in the middle of the building, you can't hear anyone around you. Like my dad made me stand on it a couple times, and anytime like
Wow.
you said anything, it would echo up and down, but it wouldn't, like, you can't hear anyone's voice. So anyway, my dad bought this cabin right by there, so that was just a red flag. And then
This is all because you got him turned on to alien stuff.
no, that
So
was
you wanted-
after my experience, like a year after what happened to me, he got into it.
Oh, so this happened. This happened first. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
And oh, it's okay. And so my dad got this property, and he was still working at the fire department. And then he got another job at Fort Irwin doing I think like security check and making people's ID cards, like their cat cards. So that was just like a side job for him. And then I would have to go out there and babysit the place for some whatever reason by myself, no Wi-Fi, no cell service, just a bunch of old books and some weed. And I would just go out there and watch the place, make sure no one steals my dad's stuff, because he had a lot of antiques that like weren't in storage yet. Yeah, that's the place. That's right next to my dad's house.
Did you put this picture up earlier?
Yeah, I did. Hi, Kitty.
Okay, because I thought I saw it. I was like,
Yeah, because
wow.
someone in the comments was asking me to do it, and I was like, okay. And that's all made out of wood, and there's no nails or screws. It's all interlocked like Legos or
Wow.
yeah, and it's all like
And this is the
Legos.
man who built it, I
Yep.
imagine.
And apparently the building is supposed to spin,
Long Life,
but
Other Life, Giant Rock, The Integratron, and Von Tassel's new channels.
yeah, and my dad
Channel.
was dating his daughter or granddaughter, so that's how I got to go there a lot. Because my dad is a ladies' man. Ow, cat! Hi, kitty. Oh, my cat decided to join me. Hey, dude. Okay, or not. Bye.
Well, she knows that it's about this story. She's like, all right, hold on, we're talking about a
Hi,
Degaton.
just
I'm gonna
jump
check.
on my back.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, so anyway, my dad got this property. I'd have to go out there for like a couple of days at a time and babysit the place. With my dad's like, hey, you know how to use a gun, do what you do. And I was like, all right, cool. And there was coyotes everywhere all the time. There was no fence up yet, nothing. It sucked. And one night,
I'm
I think
scared.
I was watching a movie in bed and I fell asleep. I think it was like The Dark Crystal or something on VHS. And I woke up and I heard like coyotes outside, like yelping around, which was normal, but this sounded like there was like 10 of them or 15. It was a lot and more than normal. And then I went back to sleep. And the next time I woke up, I was in the bed and my eyes could only move. I couldn't move my hands. I couldn't move my body. I was stuck. And then my head felt like it was like moved. Like it felt like someone's hand was on my cheek and moved it, but it was nothing. And then when I looked over, it was like what in the movie Signs, just like really short and on the side of the bed staring right at me. And I remember like the smell was really just awful. Like I can't even explain it. He had no nose, just two holes, really big eyes, the same green blue texture to his skin, very rough, but you could see his veins were really dark purple. And then I flinched. I remember I tried to move my arm to like move it up and like to punch him in the face. And that's when he got like really mad and like he like snarled at me. Like his whole face just made an angry look. And then he screamed at me, but it was like a high pitch scream slash like a roar, like everything vibrated. And I remember looking in the background, all the books were the same, the door was in the same place, the windows, everything was exactly the same. So you know, the dream, usually stuff is a little different. And then those lights flashing behind him, like in the window, like strobe lights. And then my head moved again. At the foot of my bed, there was a really, really tall one, but this one looked more feminine and it had like a red robe around, but that's it. And this one's like a lot taller, and this one had a really long neck. And the only way to kind of describe this one is like the one from Star Wars, from the Clone Wars, when they're on that water planet. I can't remember what species that was, but that's what it looked like. And I remember when I looked at that one, I felt like calm and at ease, and I wasn't afraid anymore. I was just like, oh, okay, you guys are just here. Never mind, my bad, my fault. And I remember like the other one next to me, like he was breathing really hard, like he was mad. And then I heard the coyotes outside again, just yelping and just like it was really weird, like they were being tortured or something. And the lights kept flashing and flashing, and some stuff was like moving around here and there, like the books were just kind of like going back and forth. And then next thing I know, they're gone. And then like either I wake up again or something happens, like the time changed. And I got up out of bed and I grabbed one of my dad's shotguns that were behind the bedroom door. And I went outside to the mud room with like a big security gate where you could look out the windows. And there was coyotes running around the wishing well that my dad built. And I was like, what the hell? And they couldn't get in because it's like really thick metal. And they were just running and running in circles. And there was like at least 15 of them. And you never see that many coyotes at once. Never.
Wow.
And then I forgot about it for like a couple weeks. I just thought it was a weird dream. And I was like, oh, maybe it's because I smoked weed. And I realized like, oh, I didn't even have any weed that time. And then I told my friend about it and we looked it up, like, oh, coyotes, owls, and wolves are the signs of aliens or something. And then I
Owls
was
is a really
like,
common one.
yeah. And I was like, oh shit.
Screen creatures.
And I was like, oh shit, that actually happened. And then I told my dad about it. And he's like, oh man, what are you smoking up there? Blah blah blah. He was making fun of me and making fun of me forever. Like anytime I saw him, he just made a quick joke about it. And I was like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. It happens. Like, haha. But it never really bugged me, and it still doesn't really bug me, which I find disturbing. And
That
then
it doesn't bother you, bothers you.
no, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm like, oh, what happened? That's cool. Like I just pissed it off. My bad. And then like a year later, my stepmom told me, like when my dad walked out of the room, that's when she can like talk to me sometimes. And he's like, hey, I think your dad saw something like that you saw. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, well, your dad heard something outside one night and went outside with a gun to go shoot it or whatever. Cause he used to do that when I was a kid on the ranch with like coyotes. Was it killing our chickens or something? And I guess when he came back inside, he was pale as a ghost. Like he says, like, Emma, I've never seen your dad look scared before. Like your dad is not that type of guy to just walk back inside and not talk for like a day. And then I think he saw something and he won't talk about it. He still to this day won't talk about it. It's been like 8 years, maybe 9 since when whatever he saw. And then after that, that's when he was going to all those alien conventions and Joshua Tree. He was spending like $800 a ticket to go to like these conventions. He was like meeting like weird yoga people. Yeah, he saw whatever I saw or something.
Yeah, he got involved.
Yeah, and then
he don't want to talk about it, huh?
Yeah, no, he's not gonna talk about anything.
He was trying to get you to talk about it more so he could understand it maybe a little bit more without admitting that he saw it. Probably.
Yeah, exactly. And then a couple of times
for that kind of thing to happen where people can't come to terms with something, so they spend all this time to oh, you see the dollar?
Yeah, I see the dollar.
You know, they're trying to integrate the information without acknowledging it, which obviously is not going to work. You have to welcome and admit whatever is wrong or whatever happened before you can deal with it. You can't suppress it and understand it at the same time.
No,
for obvious reasons.
And my dad's not that type of guy to like talk about things. Like he has like medical issues a lot, or just bad luck. Like he's been airlifted like 10 times. Like he's been in a hospital a lot. He's been in a coma for a couple months. Like my dad one time was on the roof and he fell off the roof and like a cactus went in his ear and he didn't want to go to the hospital. Another time he fell off the roof when he was trying to do the roofing on it, and he was like knocked out for like 4 hours and he had to drag himself 2 acres to a mailbox, and the mail person found him. My dad just has like death is always like poking him, and it's like, oh, okay, not today. Like never mind. And then all this crazy stuff happened, and he was meeting like this one astrologer guy who's I guess really famous in Canada, and my dad was like best friends with him all of a sudden, going to like these yoga retreats, and I went with him a couple of times. It was just really odd, like how my dad was like had the exact same like life experience I kind of did, just he had money and he was doing way more stuff than I could.
Yeah, that's interesting. People's like coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, when I was a kid, I had a friend who owned a farm, and we went hunting, and we saw some type of apparition spirit thing in the woods, and we was all like talking about it like the next day and everything. But then, you know, we got into separate classes and everything like the next year, so we made other friends and everything. And then in high school, it was both in the library, my senior year, and we were just talking chit chat. I go, hey, remember that one time when I stayed the night at your parents' farm back when they had it, and we saw that like apparition spirit Native American thing in the woods, and he goes, "Oh, no!" Like he like his demeanor changed, and he was like, "Oh, my dad and brother went back out there, and there was nothing there. We were just little kids, and we were just like seeing things. It was just our imaginations, and oh." But he was like really like adamant and like it's like almost like stressed out about it. Like he was denying.
Yeah, I have
that
a
they
video of in a cave. I went to Calico Ghost Town. It's like one of the world's biggest silver mines, kind of where I grew up. In the video, there's like a huge like orb that was going up and down. And I know that place is super infested with spirits and just weird stuff. Like I knew a couple of security guards that used to work there. And then I know my dad used to work at Disneyland. He was one of the fire chiefs there, and he would work graveyard sometimes. And he would tell me the craziest stuff, how Disneyland is like super haunted. And in the firehouse up, like upstairs, I guess that's where Walt would sleep. They'll be screaming up there all the time. There'll be like hard footsteps, like pacing back and forth.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad was like,
around 33 degrees.
huh?
33 degrees.
There's Club
longitude.
33 there too. That I tried to become a member
33,
at Disneyland. It's 10,000 a month to be a member.
I was in there before they closed it off.
Oh, really?
Went to Disneyland, and yeah, I didn't know it was like one of the only places they sold beer there, and we stopped, and they had like they had sushi appetizers, and it was like really
cool.
fancy. And then I had to go to the bathroom, and I went upstairs to the men's room, and it was on the second floor, and there was all these like super creepy pictures of like Walt Disney with like Shirley Temple like on his knee, and like he's all, like grinning like all like creepy with his little mustache, and his wife, she was like standing like a step behind him and off to the side, like, and she was all like, she was like a maid, like her clothes were like sort of dumpy looking compared to his like fancy suit and his like creepy like, it was like super pedo-y, but it was before anything about any of that stuff, in Hollywood. So it was like,
yeah. And my dad would always joke that he's like buried underneath there, and his whatever chamber thing like Austin Powers was. Remember when he's frozen?
Yeah.
My dad would always joke about like, I seen it. I've been down there. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like,
was he joking or was he serious?
I don't know. You can never tell with him. Like he could tell you the craziest lie on the planet with a straight face and just walk away. And you're like, what? Like he's like, yeah.
That little island off the coast that they made into a water park for like a couple decades, it closed because
that one's haunted.
Yeah, because a kid died there.
Yeah, that and then my dad would walk that island every single night when they did fireworks with another firefighter, and they would walk on there with 2 fire extinguishers, and every single night there's a fire on that island. He's like, they don't know how, even when the wind isn't like going that direction, there'll be embers from the fireworks that fall, and every night there's a fire. Just there's 2 firefighters usually on that island, like doing their rounds.
Yeah, those people that go and do urban explorer things, and they take like a little raft out and they sneak in and they try to get footage because it's just abandoned now.
I've been there at nighttime when no one's there. It's not. I like rode around there in a little fixie. It's not. I don't know. It's definitely weird, and you see hundreds of cats, but it's not like. I don't think it's worth breaking into and doing all that. Like I've been there. The
only place I would be interested in like looking at Disney wise would be, what one was Walt Disney's private island that they turned into a resort?
Is the one in Bahamas?
Is it the one in the Bahamas? I forget the name.
Atlantis, whatever it's called now.
Never heard.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's like a vacation spot.
Yeah, because one of their vacation places that their cruise line goes to used to be owned by Walt, and that was his like vacation island he would go to and stay at. back in the day.
I think that's what it was. I can't remember.
And
I
that
haven't looked
one,
into anything Disney in a while.
that one would be interesting to go to see if there was any like
Tunnels.
yeah.
Castaway Cay was a private island in the Bahamas, which serves as an exclusive port for the Disney Cruise Line ships. It is located near Great Abaco Island and was formerly known as Gorda Cay.
So it was Bahamas. Okay.
I gotta bail, you guys. It's getting late over here.
Okay.
your
Oh my God, it's pretty
Rowboat
late.
filling up with water.
My rowboat is. Yeah, I gotta
Bail.
take the last few paddles the island of the bed.
Don't forget to end your stream on your channel.
Oh
It
yeah,
already
the
it
one
died.
where
It died somehow. I know. I checked it a little while ago, but thank you for reminding me.
Did your pewter die or something? Or?
I don't know. I think I accidentally could close Zoom or something.
oops. Yeah, because I clicked that one early and only your
OBS.
voice worked, and everyone else
Oh.
was like nothing.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll find a way to simulcast effectively. But now
Yeah.
now we've broken the seal because we tried and succeeded. So now it's just
out of the
up for-
fucking bag.
Yeah.
That's right.
Benjamin Franklin.
Don't forget to take your mugwort.
The feline
Thank you.
ambiance
Yeah,
is
that's what I'm gonna do.
alive in
Go
Schrodinger's
meet
cat
Chance.
lives.
We're
Hey,
probably 4 hours into a flow state. It might be an appropriate
Correct.
time to
I want to go to bed,
I'll
so
let-
yeah.
Yep.
You're
I have to wake
3
up early for
hours,
work.
45 minutes in. We can end the show playing Chris's thing.
We should wish Rachel a happy birthday though.
Oh,
yeah.
Since we said we
Yes.
was.
Yes. That is
All
a
right.
true
I'll bail. You guys
statement.
sing.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Rachel.
Mhm.
They're gonna sing without me.
Happy birthday
do I have to do this? Oh.
to
Can we sing? Are we singing like? Are we singing?
happy birthday
This is so
to
wrong. You
Mr. President.
happy birthday,
birthday.
Happy
Hey.
birthday.
Joe.
Joe.
Ha ha ha
ha
Ah, ah,
ha
ha ha.
ah, ah, ah. Happy birthday
Day
to
you.
you, Rachel.
I apologize. That was cringy, but
It's called Slapback.
It's not copywritten to sing it that way. It's original
oh,
song.
Oh, I didn't know if he was trying to sing like Marilyn Monroe. That's why I was like,
Oh,
Mr.
happy-
President.
That was sexy, Chris.
Oh, you wanted a sexy birthday song?
Did it.
No,
Yeah, I'm incapable.
no, I just thought I didn't realize you were trying to create a new one so you wouldn't get copyrighted. I thought you was purposely like you was
doing Marilyn
doing
Monroe.
a Monroe impression. I didn't catch on. That's why I was like, "What are you doing, Alan?"
I thought we were just trying to be cringy on purpose.
I was like, "What's going?"
We're trying to be calm. It's night and people are falling asleep. I think
Happy fetus eviction day. Yeah.
I can play the Chris promo.
Yeah, if you
Happy
have it,
Mother's
play
Day.
it.
It should play the audio if everyone mutes themselves, and then we'll
Play it. We'll
say
play it.
goodnight to the stream after
Okay.
that video ends.
Mute.
Am
I gotta turn it up here.
Is working.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I love the weaving spiders.
Am I working or is working? Fucking Alan Marcus. I love that guy. If you guys don't know, I am a fairly regular on We Spiders Welcome on Saturday nights. And Alan Marcus is alanmarcus.com. If you haven't ever checked that out, Alan Marcus is absolutely brilliant. That guy kills me. That guy freaking kills me. There's sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm just like, what the fuck is he going on about? And then all of a sudden he just pulls it back, just whack, 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 whack. Oh, brilliant. Love you, Alan. We're just freaking brilliant. I love that guy.
One thing that you guys are doing the best of any podcast that I've ever seen with an open forum is that, and I even love that you call it a weave, because there isn't really a debate in a weave. Everything ties together. And it's interesting to me as the people are new guests and they become part of the spiders, them learning that. I can feel it energetically of them learning that this is a weave. This isn't a debate. This isn't like every show before it. This isn't here for us to take our ideas and make swords out of them. This is for us to take our ideas and make web together out of it. And there's something so fucking beautiful. And the way you all do it, like, you add this sense of like responsibility to the show, but also I like how you get it off track and remind people this little magical element, or just have a story sometimes about a real synchronicity in your life, or you always bring it back to an owl because it's funny to me and synchronistic. But Marcus Allen is like kind of this really great glue at, me and you could be talking about two totally different ideas, and then Slick Dissonant comes in with a totally different idea, and then Marcus Allen's over there when no one even notices for fucking 15 minutes that he hasn't spoke, and then he comes in and he finds one word that glues all of our weaves together in a web. And Jim, the thing that's so great about Jim is that if you just visually are watching, he's always doing something so fucking funny, like always doing something so clowny, so funny with the green screen, with the thing. And when he does actually speak up, he never will take the floor. He always lets the person, like if two people talk at the same time and he's one of the people, he always 100% of the time lets the person take the floor and kind of saves his little nugget. And it always ends up better landed a few seconds later after he lets the person finish. I don't know. It's just little comedic things I notice about the whole thing too.
When
So,
I make a
yeah,
meme,
I love the weaving
it
spiders.
usually comes through. Spiders welcome 679 307 South 97 Walla Washington 9936.
Yeah, I love the weaving spiders.
Am I working or is working? Fucking Alan Marcus.
I think that's how we
love that
ended.
guy.
Jim will
If
hit
you
the
guys
side
don't
and say
know,
goodnight.
I am a fairly regular on We
Right.
Spiders Welcome.
That was awesome.